don't mean to put anybody above Randy Orton, but I am a Drew McIntyre fan, and after seeing Randy Orton talk so bad to Ric Flair, I want to see Drew McIntyre in this place.
You guys are so much fun. Enjoy watching SummerSlam with your Welch and grape juice. And we know one thing, the WWE Thunderdome has created quite the stir among the WWE Universe and beyond, so check out what everyone's had to say about it. We have Sports Illustrated buzzing, CBS Sports, we've had Fox Sports, ESPN. Everyone is all about the WWE Thunderdome, and it makes complete sense because it really is a very cool atmosphere, especially being inside of it. It is really amazing. It's crazy. Being able to watch it from home and like everybody else, like the world was waiting to see what it's going to look like. It's like, damn, we want to work around the pandemic and work around these empty arenas. That's a hell of a way to kick it off. Yeah. And we've seen so many other sports utilize similar technology. Even watching the NBA playoffs, we see people from their respective homes, wherever they might be watching, and now it's cool because the WWE Universe could do the exact same. I thought that we didn't have the cardboard cutouts.
Why are you doing that to baseball? Why are you coming from Major League Baseball is the old man of the world? If you don't show up with the cardboard.
There was a guy who bought cardboard of himself for the entire row. So he all him in one row. That's brilliant. That's the only thing he had about it. But let's actually talk about friends. There was a match going down tonight. They were former best friends. Now they are bitter foes. I'm talking about Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. Tonight it is no disqualification match. The loser having to leave WWE for good.
Mandy, just checking in. How are you doing? SummerSlam is in 2 days, and I don't know what's going through Sonya's head.
Mandy, I've never had someone like you in my life before. You are the most selfish human being I've ever met in my entire life. Fire Desire was never about us. Trying to share camera time with the golden goddess. 5 years of my life wasted trying to be second best to what's my candy that has absolutely no talent. All I want is to see you hurt. I will use every ounce of my being to ruin your life. This thing got so deeply personal between former best friends, now bitter enemies. I will hate you, Mandy! I will hate you!
Despite of all the bad and ugly I've seen, I need to believe that there's still good in this world. Sonya, I don't know if you know this, but so much of the good and beautiful, we've been through it together when we were best friends. I'm choosing to believe that the Sonya I know, the Sonya that I have been inseparable with for the past 5 years, is still out there. I say we put this all behind us and get back to where we were. I choose to see the good in you.
Mandy, I heard what you had to say. What I don't understand is, what is it that you want? Because you're going to end up facing me one way or another.
her once best friend Sonya Deville, it only infuriated Sonya to a whole nother level. Why do you think this happened?
Well, I just, whatever mode Sonya has kicked into at this point, I think this is the next level. This is a woman that's going to be gunning for future championships. I think she's looking to take that spotlight, take Mandy Rose out of there. The other thing I can say is I'm devastated that this is no longer a hair versus hair match, because I was so pumped for that. I want to see something.
Either one of them I would have been happy. Either one of those ladies come from the playoffs.
I don't really know professionals like you guys get into these mutual league town matches. To me, the idea is terrifying at the end of the day. You lose the match, you have the job anymore.
Yeah, it's very scary. What's scarier, losing your job or your hair, Renee? Find out, I guess, right?
I think we're making trigonometry out of simple math here. I think it's very simple. Sonya Deville saw herself a second fiddle to Mandy Rose. The Mandy Rose sees a great in Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville sees an opportunity in Mandy Rose. And I think that's all this is about.
I think Mandy Rose is now backtracking for keeping Sonya in her shadow for so long. Now she's like, oh, wait, no, you're going to beat my ass tonight.
I would just lay out.
You're not into this. You don't want to have to. You would have done a hair versus hair match.
Your hair versus everybody. It's just your hair alone. You can have a hair versus hair match.
I'd love to get a prediction about what you think about this match. Who do you think is going to win?
Sonya, 100% it's going to be Sonya. I think
Mandy's out of here. Yeah.
Let me tell you,
Later,
Mandy Rose is the toughest, individual on toughened up in 2015. I'm going to give it 9 to Mandy Rose.
Okay.
I'm going to go on Sonya Deville, but I also hate the fact that we're losing one great superstar.
Yeah, absolutely.
Two, I'm going to go Mandy. You want Mandy Rose?
Okay, all right. We have three for was it? Oh, Sonya. Okay. Yeah. All right. Well, the Mysterio family is in the building. They are in the WWE Thunderdome, putting up a united front with Ray, Angie, and the exciting new upstart Dominic enter as we will preview his quest to get vengeance against the maniacal Monday Night Messiah coming up in just a bit right here on the Kickoff Show.
There's only one treat you need to get ready for SummerSlam this year. That's right, Cena. Rich, creamy, and delicious. The man does believe that
Too hot to handle it, too cold to hold.
this summer find us chilling in the frozen. Take it from the man. The WWE Superstars cookie sandwiches can't be beat.
And the clock continues to wind down as we inch closer and closer to a SummerSlam. One woman who has her work cut out for her this evening is Asuka. First, she will take on Bayley for the SmackDown Women's Championship, and then it's on to Sasha Banks to challenge for the Raw Women's title.
we are the show. Be the role models that we are. It's so happening. Do what needs to be done. Damn, we're good. This is our party. You're lucky you're even invited.
Bailey, Sasha, I just wanted to actually congratulate you. The two of you have achieved insurmountable goals.
Thank you so much, Stephanie. That means so much coming from you. Really, all we're trying to do is be role models.
And what a job you've done. Being guest referee at the horror show Extreme Rules.
Sasha Banks trying to roll out of this, and then Bayley dancing over the titles. Bayley putting the shirt on the official.
The Maria stipulation I made by literally attacking Kyrie Sane. Having Asuka get counted out and lose her championship. And I'm not sure about being ready. So in SummerSlam, Sasha, you will be defending the Raw Women's Championship.
Welcome to the biggest party of the summer, WWE SummerSlam live reactions, play-by-play. I'm your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cohan Luke 96. As always, be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share on social media. Hashtag SummerSlam. Hashtag WWE Thunderdome. Chat questions and comments along with super chats and super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. This evening at WWE SummerSlam, we will see Braun Strowman defend his Universal Championship in a now Falls Count Anywhere match against The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. The Chosen One, Drew McIntyre, will defend his WWE Championship versus the returning Legend Killer, Randy Orton. We'll also see Dominic Mysterio and the Messiah, Seth frickin' Rollins, in a street fight. A few women's matches as well, with Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. A hair versus hair, no disqualification, loser leaves WWE match, along with Bayley defending her SmackDown Women's Championship against Asuka. Sasha Banks will also defend her Raw Women's Championship against Asuka as well. However, coming up next on the WWE SummerSlam kickoff pre-show, we will see Apollo Crews defend his United States Championship against Montel Vontavious Porter, MVP. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching my live reactions play-by-play. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. Share hashtag SummerSlam on social media. Currently, the kickoff pre-show is going on. We have Charlie Caruso, Renee Young in her final WWE appearance, Booker T, JBL, and Peter Rosenberg on the kickoff panel. Inside WWE's Thunderdome, inside the Amway Center in Orlando. And now Shayna Baszler with the interruption on the mic, potentially teaming with Asuka 1 week from tonight to challenge Bayley and Sasha Banks, the Boston Hug Connection, the golden role models of the WWE for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. As it is SummerSlam weekend, we were introduced to the new WWE Thunderdome on Friday night, where we saw Jeff Hardy win the Intercontinental Championship. Once again, last night, WWE NXT TakeOver. We saw Damian Priest become the new NXT North American Champion. Karrion Kross, your new NXT Champion. However, he is now injured with a separated shoulder. MRI tomorrow, and we'll find out more then. Brody Lee, also your new AEW TNT Champion, as AEW was on a Saturday night with a Saturday Night Special edition of Dynamite last night. However, tonight, SummerSlam, as mentioned. Tomorrow night, fallout from SummerSlam on Monday Night Raw. We'll have to see what Retribution has in store for us this evening, virtually in the WWE Thunderdome. But 1 week from tonight, WWE Payback is making a return for the first time since 2017, where we saw that House of Horrors match with Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton. I think tonight at SummerSlam 2020, both will walk out with championship titles around their waist. So once again, thanks for tuning in and watching my SummerSlam live reactions. If you have a chat question or comment along with super chat or a super sticker, drop it in the comment section below. Keep an eye out for my WWE Payback and WWE Payback live reactions next week. WWE Payback preview predictions by the end of the week, and then 1 week from this evening, 1 week from tonight, WWE Payback live reactions, play-by-play. First time ever WWE's going to hold a pay-per-view 1 week following a Big Four pay-per-view such as SummerSlam this evening. So a lot going on in the world of professional wrestling, coming off a great night last night with AEW and NXT, AEW TV and an NXT TakeOver pay-per-view event. However, this evening, as mentioned in my preview predictions for SummerSlam, along with the live stream on Friday night for SmackDown and last night for NXT TakeOver, I have a feeling that tonight's not going to be as good as what everyone is hoping, thinking, planning it for it to be, especially coming off, in my eyes at least, everybody has their own opinion, the horror show at Extreme Rules last month, in which I thought was a damn good pay-per-view. Everybody was saying that pay-per-view was average at best, but I thought that was pretty damn good. But now, obviously SummerSlam weekend, and we had a good Friday Night SmackDown, to say the least, inside the new WWE Thunderdome, and then AEW NXT last night. Card-wise for SummerSlam just doesn't intrigue me tonight, so we'll see what happens. The only two matches I'm really interested, as mentioned in my preview predictions and the recent live streams, are in fact the two big championship matches with Braun Strowman, Bray Wyatt, Drew McIntyre, and Randy Orton. So we'll see what happens. I would think those are going to be your co-main event and main events of the evening, but only time will in fact tell. But yes, once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. We should have Apollo Crews MVP starting here momentarily, so bear with me on that, and chat questions and comments, always greatly appreciated, as mentioned. But just be sure to keep an eye out for WWE Payback preview predictions by the end of the week, and then 1 week from tonight, be sure to tune back in live right here on Periscope, Gridiron Ring on YouTube, edit that out, for WWE Payback live reactions play-by-play. So yes, live right now on YouTube. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button. Share hashtag WWE Thunderdome along with the hashtag SummerSlam, as tonight, SummerSlam 2020 will be the first ever pay-per-view inside the new WWE Thunderdome, as now it looks like we're going to preview Dominic Mysterio, the son of the great luchador Rey Mysterio, in his match versus the Messiah of the WWE in Seth frickin' Rollins, Mr. Nickname, as I like to call him. So we'll see what the WWE has in store for us this evening for SummerSlam. Hopefully Retribution makes themselves known once again, and then hopefully reveals themselves towards the end of the show to close things out, leading into the fallout of SummerSlam tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. But who honestly knows other than Vince? We also have a Raw Tag Team Championship match as well with the Street Profits and Andrade and Angel Garza. This past Friday night on SmackDown, we saw Cesaro and Shinsuke Nakamura defend their SmackDown Tag Team titles against the Lucha House Party. And they won, retained, and are still your SmackDown Tag Team champs at this point in time. Cesaro was actually in the crowd at TakeOver last night, as were Bayley and Sasha Banks before SummerSlam this evening. Now, come next week at Payback, a week from tonight once more, so be sure to tune back in. A lot of wrestling going on, as mentioned. We're probably going to get a lot of rematches from tonight, from this weekend, whether they took place on SmackDown Friday night or even tomorrow night on Raw. But I would think, for the most part, there's going to be a lot of rematches from tonight, to say the least. Along with, say, King Corbin, Matt Riddle, because of what happened during SmackDown and just their recent feud that's currently going on. So, really the only penciled-in match for next week at Payback right now is Bayley and Sasha Banks, the Boston Hug Connection, your Golden Role Models, defending their women's tag team titles against the to-be-determined opponent. So we'll have to find out and see who, in fact, they face. I believe Asuka's going to win both Raw and SmackDown women's titles this evening. And then whoever Bayley and Sasha face next week, they'll also lose then. They'll split, feud, leading into Hell in a Cell and Survivor Series come the fall, as we're on the cusp of the autumn season beginning, as summer is almost over, which is a little unfortunate, but in the meantime, football season is gearing up and about ready to kickstart once more. So wrestling goes on regardless, as it has since this pandemic began back in March. And they actually just released the WWE 24 WrestleMania 36. The show must go on the WWE Network today. So I'll have to tune into that potentially after SummerSlam tonight or sometime soon, to say the least. But yeah, come Payback next week, we're probably going to have a lot of rematches from this weekend, and then basically everybody that's not on the SummerSlam card this evening, that's on a Raw or SmackDown roster. So yes, we very well could see Keith Lee get called up to the main roster now after he dropped the NXT championship last night to Karrion Kross, as we see this video package with Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins hyping up their match this evening, a street fight tonight at SummerSlam. But with the fact that Karrion Kross is now injured with a separated shoulder, as mentioned, and WWE broke the story, and they're actually saying, yes, like, this is true. I doubt we're going to see Keith Lee tonight, just due to the fact, okay, he's getting an MRI tomorrow now on that separated shoulder. Shucky ducky quack quack Booker T, all hail King Booker. But just due to the fact that he's getting an MRI and they don't know the severity of it yet, you know, Keith Lee could come out, potentially turn heel, and attack Kross on NXT this upcoming week. Tommaso Ciampa's making a return though as well, so maybe something there, because it looks like Gargano is going to stay in NXT for the time being too, and feud potentially with Cameron Grimes and Ciampa as thought, with Balor and Dream potentially for the NXT North American Championship that Damian Priest won for the first time ever last night at TakeOver 30. So a lot of unknown once more. I mean, it's normally always like this anyway. So we'll have to see what happens. I wouldn't debut Keith Lee tonight, just because of, you know, Kross's injury. Now, if he didn't get hurt, that'd be a different story. But then if he is going to be out for a while, rather than having Kross just drop the title, have something happen that's going to make some noise. Whether it's Keith Lee, you know, trying to recapture the title that he lost only after a month and a half of having it after he defeated Adam Cole at the NXT Great American Bash pay-per-view back in the middle of July. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens in this upcoming match as well. Hashtag SummerSlam. It's going to be Apollo Crews and MVP for the new United States Championship they introduced last month at the Horror Show at Extreme Rules, as this match was supposed to take place then. However, Apollo Crews no-showed storyline-wise, and MVP basically gave himself a new title, said he's the new WWE US champ, and then Apollo Crews returned. He still had the old title, MVP had the new title, and then Apollo Crews eventually got the new title, and that's what he's wearing tonight. So over the course of the last month or so, they've been dragging this out, and it's, to me at least, okay, yeah, the Hurt business is booming in Raw Underground, but this storyline, to me at least, is getting a little boring. I would take the title off of Apollo Crews, have MVP win it, and then break up the Hurt business, have Bobby Lashley turn on MVP, and then put the title, the US title, for that matter, on the almighty Bobby Lashley with his new Chris Masters Lashley lock here in 2020. So we'll see what happens. But obviously, yeah, that's the fun part of, you know, previewing and predicting and just discussing, and then actually seeing what happens during these events, whether it be for AEW Dynamite, or for the WWE for Monday Night Raw, NXT, Friday Night SmackDown, TNA Impact, Ring of Honor, New Japan. Regardless of the company, 1, 2, you hear the clock ticking. Ooh, he's got new entrance music. And it's like, we will rock you. And the Hurt Business coming out as one. Basically the new nation of domination in the WWE in the year 2020 with MVP. I like his old entrance music. I could care less about this. Shelton Benjamin, your new 24/7 champion, once again as well. MVP is in. He's all in. I'm in. wearing his new Hurt Business merch. But Lashley and Shelton Benjamin are barred from ringside, so it's a one-on-one United States Championship match with Apollo Crews defending against MVP. No virtual fans just yet on the kickoff pre-show for WWE SummerSlam. And like I said, Friday night and last night as well for SmackDown and TakeOver. The production of the Thunderdome, it's basically, you know, what it's been with the entrance and the ring. And I mean, really the only thing that's different, they have more video boards, they have more lighting, they have more lasers, more drones. The production level scaled up a ton. And rightfully so, because they have to do what they have to do. But there are the virtual fans, everyone tuning in, all 1,000 of them, I'd say, probably. So, okay, they have the new United States title that Apollo Crews has. Bell rings, match underway. Apollo Crews MVP. But then for the graphic saying this is for the United States Championship, they use the old championship title belt. So, like, come on. You would think they'd do better than that on that. But, yeah, a new look. No more beard for MVP. He's clean shaven. And now, okay, WWE SummerSlam on my end completely goes out. So we have to go back and try to get back into it now on the kickoff pre-show. Yes, we're going to watch it live because it's already about, okay, there we go. We're back to live TV on the WWE Network for WWE SummerSlam. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. Sorry for any technical difficulties if you're experiencing technical difficulties via YouTube here. So, yeah, Apollo Crews MVP thrown his way from MVP, causing a distraction with the official referee. Drop kick from Apollo. Apollo's a good wrestler. It's just his gimmick is trash. And like I said, this story is, in my opinion at least, getting a little boring. So I would take the title off of Apollo Crews and put it on MVP and then have Lashley turn. But if they're debuting new entrance music for the Hurt Business, and I mean they're really, you know, pushing it through, shoving it up, it would make sense to have MVP win that at that point. Somebody in the crowd sporting a old school Kevin Owens t-shirt from a few years back. I would assume he can get, you know, merchandise shipped to wherever the hell you live at. As we see, screens are going out already, so there'll be... and to me, for some reason tonight too, it seems like there's more people. Or maybe the screens are a bit bigger. To me, it seems like there's more people watching virtually. So maybe they added more room into the Thunderdome for fans to virtually watch. But, I mean, who knows? Like I was saying there about that KO shirt, I would assume, but hey, you never know. That person lives up in the Great White North in Canada, where SummerSlam actually took place last year in Toronto. And currently the NHL playoffs, one half of the bubble is in Toronto, the other half in Edmonton, the NBA playoff bubble in Orlando as well at Walt Disney World. The WWE also in Orlando. They were at the PC, but now they've moved shop across town to the Ambrick Freak and the Milwaukee Bucks. Kick out at 2 by Apollo. There's a aerial shot from the one corner inside the WWE Thunderdome. Hashtag on social media. Clothesline from MVP. Clothesline P right in front of the entrance ramp. Both superstars down and out. As we see a replay of that This is a good match so far. Well, Pat McAfee, though, last night at TakeOver 30, as McAfee. 9 count from the official, and they both get in at the same time in the action. Both superstars on one knee, right hands back and forth in the middle of the ring. Where's the teddy bear at? We're looking for the teddy bear tonight. Teddy bear in the crowd. Nope, cardboard cutouts by any means. Like the MLB. Is that Rusev? Is Miro watching SummerSlam in the WWE Thunderdome? That one guy looks like Miro. And then a moonsault cover. 1, 2, kick out 2.5. I swear to God, that one guy is Rusev. Now, Apollo reverses that. And another cover. Retains his United States Championship over MVP very well. Give us Apollo Crews. They teased Kevin up, split him up as well. Apollo, and we'll see what they do with MVP in her business. I mean, yeah, the U.S. title is the mid-card championship on Monday Night Raw. We're going to have another draft or a shake-up within the next few months or so, I would think. That they've brought back here in 2020. They've done most of the work, to say the least. So we'll see what they... Now, I wouldn't mind that. Obviously, yeah, have Owens win the title eventually. Or even, I'm trying to think who else is on Monday Night Raw. Not mid-card wise, but just that could challenge a week at Payback, though, too. So that's the thing. The next week or so, with all these storylines, it's all going to be all over the damn place. And we're really not going to get a clear rumored Clash of Champions pay-per-view. Probably, I would think, get a rematch now I think about that, with Apollo Crews and MVP, Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton, WWE Championship match. Let me know in the comments below as well what you think of this live stream, 1, and then 2, who you have winning tonight's matches at WWE SummerSlam. So be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. That thumbs up button, share hashtag, always greatly appreciated. Talk about NXT TakeOver 30 last night on his injury that he suffered last night in the main event versus Keith Lee. And I quote, "I will get the professional, educated opinion on what the severity saying goes. It's not ballet. From my point of view, no. Due to how I feel and what I've heard, I don't know. The range of emotion that I have right now, while it's not what I would like it to be, for me personally, it would indicate to me that I'm going to be able to get through this without any sort of extreme measures. So to speak, in my opinion, today, and quote, they might think it's better that you go to the sidelines for a little bit on the shelf with NXT Championship over the course of the next few days with Raw, NXT, and SmackDown upcoming this week. So we're almost at the top of the hour. Once again, thanks for tuning in and watching. If you're experiencing technical difficulties, please let me know, as once connects it. Kickoff pre-show panel with Charlie Caruso, Renee Young, Booker T, Randy Orton, as if Orton wins this evening. Last year, moving back to Friday nights live on Fox for WWE Friday Night SmackDown Championship on Randy Orton. They did not. They put it on Brock Lesnar. They had Lesnar defeat Kofi Kingston in the SmackDown on Fox main event debut. So, SmackDown on Fox, he's been SmackDown Women's Champion ever since. So, Renee Young gonna give her final send-off. Dean Ambrose, that's what he's formerly known as in the WWE. Now Jon Moxley in AEW, the current AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Her husband, Jon Moxley, his real life name, will defend his AEW World Heavyweight Championship in less this night at AEW All Out on September the 5th. It'll be Chris Jericho and Orange Cassidy in the first ever Mimosa Mayhem match. So in 2 weeks at All Out, as we have SummerSlam tonight, Payback, a new gimmick match in the world of professional wrestling, a Mimosa Mayhem match. So in a state-of-the-art virtual experience, and moving forward, all Monday Night Raws, all Friday Night SmackDowns, and all WWE pay-per-views will in fact be inside the Thunderdome. Then, now, WWE Forever. No retribution aspect, though, to it tonight as they did last week on Raw, with graphics all over the goddamn place. And now, Slam inside the new WWE Thunderdome. We have the opening video package now. Good chip later on team titles. Asuka and two separate and Sasha Banks. This is after the eye for an eye match that Rollins participated in and won. Again, you'll never see it coming. Why? You'll never see it coming. I honestly believe that has something to do with WWE Retribution. I do. So we'll see what happens. As with me, as it's probably, going to disconnect and then ask me to reconnect eventually a few more times throughout the evening. But right now, this is SummerSlam. SummerSlam was actually supposed to take place in Boston this year, but obviously due to the coronavirus pandemic, that was put on hold, and there were rumors floating around on whether they were going to have it. And actually tonight we can hear the virtual fans. Friday night it didn't seem like we could, even if they were making noise or not. WWE gonna bring the thunder tonight, says Michael Cole. WWE SummerSlam live in the WWE Thunderdome. Here comes Asuka. So basically the entrances are now 10 times better with the production scaled up as mentioned. So we're sort of getting back to normal, but it's still not normal. And hopefully everyone's staying safe. It'll be Asuka and Bayley first, because Sasha won on Friday Night SmackDown in the Beat the Clock Challenge. And then we'll have Michael Cole say it's boss time, and we'll get Asuka and Sasha later on. And Asuka, I do believe, is going to win both titles tonight. I do. And Bayley and Sasha losing the women's tag team titles as well. Two potentially Asuka and Shayna. Two potentially WWE's Shining Sisters and Lana and Natalya. So we'll see what happens. Down match. It's going to be Bayley defending her SmackDown Women's title against Asuka. And we got Michael Cole, Corey Graves on commentary. So now here comes, as I'd assume she's going to be wearing her women's, yeah, she is, her SmackDown Women's title around her waist, and then wear her Bayley shirt, or down the middle it has AEW. But it'll be Bayley and Asuka kicking off WWE SummerSlam this year inside the Thunderdome. So thanks for tuning in. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe. Links in the description below. Hit that thumbs up button once more. Corey Graves is awesome on commentary. Just put Michael Cole. One fall. Being piped in, or if in fact that is the WWE Universe virtually with the WWE Thunderdome actually booing Bayley. I want to better. She has. She's a better heel than she is babyface. One fall once again with Bayley and Asuka for the first ever WWE pay-per-view. Asuka off the ropes with a drop kick. Down goes Bayley. I swear to God, that's Tony Schiavone now watching WWE SummerSlam. Sorry for any technical difficulties, because here we go again. It just disconnected and then asked me to reconnect, which I did, obviously. So if that's the case, and obviously yes, you just see me sitting here staring at the camera, just making sure it's good to go to restart back up to continue the stream. As I don't know why it does that, but technology is technology. It's good, but it also sucks in the meantime. So it's what it is. We continue on. Asuka, Bayley, cover, kick out at 2 by the SmackDown Women's Champion Bayley, a former NXT Women's Champion. She's also one half right now, alongside Sasha, with the WWE Women's Tag Team Championship title belts. Please do so, but that's what we're going to get once again 5 years later now. As they're both going to lose tonight, they'll both lose next week. They'll split. Bayley and Sasha will feud, heading on into Hell in a Cell, where we'll probably see a Hell in a Cell match between the two of them, and then also a Survivor Series, where potentially they could, as mentioned in my preview predictions, captain their own Survivor Series teams. So we'll see what they do. But Bayley talking to Michael Cole ringside. Graves actually wearing a suit for the first time this weekend. He's been casual for SmackDown and TakeOver. Of course I am. I'm a professional. Sasha now over there talking to Corey Graves. Graves just shakes his head, doesn't know what to say. Bayley in control of Asuka in the ring. But then also comes Survivor Series, potentially the next Big Four pay-per-view. Even though the Hell in a Cell match is obviously, yes, one of the biggest of the year in the WWE. Depending on what they do with Retribution, especially what they did on Friday night on SmackDown, with basically the whole entire SmackDown roster coming out and trying to help and save Strowman before he turned on him. We could see, say, next week at Payback, even if something happens tonight, Bayley to belly in the meantime, cover 1, 2, Asuka kicks out at 2.5. We could see, and then, you know, tomorrow night on Raw too, depending on what happens tonight, tomorrow night on Raw, and just this week in general before Payback, because they got to book a lot of stuff, obviously, yes, in a week's time for next week's Payback event. We could see the WWE main roster, Retribution, or whoever, whatever Retribution is, have them, you know, try to get their own Payback, if you will, their own Retribution, and have a match, you know, a 5-on-5 or something along those lines, like they did with Cena and the WWE against Nexus 10 years ago at SummerSlam. So, if that is the case, I mean, Survivor Series would be the perfect. Or is Retribution going to be the 20,000 members that they had ringside on SmackDown this past Friday night? So, rear view from Asuka to Bayley, kick out at 2 once again. And sorry for technical difficulties. As once again it disconnects and then reconnects. Is what it is. Asuka and Bayley now fighting on the ring apron. And yes, this does feel, you know, somewhat normal as we're, you know, getting back to the normal way of doing things. Everybody's normal way of doing things, I should say. Bayley with a stunner of some sorts on the ring apron that went, that actually sent Asuka knee first, midair into the ring apron as Bayley flung ringside then, and then now a submission. Bayley in control. It just seems, especially for a pay-per-view tonight, you know, Friday night for SmackDown for the Thunderdome, honestly didn't know what to expect. You know, we went 2 hours with that. We saw TakeOver last night as well. But now, getting used to the new normal, the new abnormal for the WWE with this Thunderdome, it does seem, you know, basically what a normal pay-per-view would be, except there's no live fans in attendance. It's all virtual. And that's the WWE Thunderdome due to circumstances. Kick out at 2 once again by Bayley. So, like I always say, it is what it is. Like, they're still going to do what they want to do regardless of, you know, what we think. And we almost saw that last night once again, too, if Velveteen Dream would have won the NXT North American Championship, because if he did, that's just them trying to prove a goddamn point that they don't care what we think with everything going on with him as of late. So, obviously that didn't happen, but I wasn't going to be shocked if it did. But Damian Priest, your new NXT North American champion, and we'll see what they do with him along with Karrion Kross and his injury. And Asuka went for a drop kick midair off the top rope, and Bayley caught her, now has her in a submission. Bayley in full control. Asuka trying to crawl and went for an elbow drop, Randy Savage style, off the top rope, and Asuka catches her, puts her in submission, and then Asuka with a kick to Sasha ringside to move her out of the way. Bayley rolls out of the ring. They're now fighting ringside. Asuka with a elbow right to the side of the head of Bayley. The Jericho Judas effect. Sasha trying to get involved. Bayley with a quick roll up now off the distraction. 1-2 kick out by Asuka. Kick to the midsection. Match continues. Bailey moves out of the way. Asuka hits a rear view on Sasha ringside. Bailey, a quick roll up. 1, 2, 3. And Bailey retains her SmackDown Women's Championship against Asuka. And now here comes Sasha with the attack following the match. It seems like they'll have this now next. No, actually, Michael Cole now later on tonight, it'll be Asuka and Sasha Banks. And fans not happy. Fans are actually booing. They are zooming in and people are actually booing, thumbs down. This sucks. Asuka should have won. No, people aren't happy at all. So they're starting to get used to the virtual side of things. They're starting to zoom in a little bit more on all the fans inside the WWE Thunderdome. So it's, you know, like I said, it's somewhat getting back to normal, but Bayley's still your SmackDown Women's Champion. Yeah, people aren't happy at all. Alright, so what do we do now? I would think, I mean, if Bayley retained, you would think Sasha's going to retain now as well. And then they might retain next week as well at Payback with the women's tag team titles on the line, as we see some replays from this match. And then hold off onto it. And, you know, maybe split them and have them feud later on in the year rather than now. But with fans booing, like, you would think, obviously that's what they want, though. They want the heel heat. But you would think they would, you know, eventually do something here with them. Because they've been teasing them splitting up for a while now. So, later on tonight, Sasha will defend her Raw Women's title against Asuka as well. What do we got now? There's the big dog Roman Reigns in this promo for the WWE. And it's a car commercial.
Joining forces this year to learn what drives, what inspires, and motivates people to seek better, to want better, to need better.
We haven't seen the big dog since March, as he was supposed to face Goldberg and take the title off of him, become the new Universal Champion, but he pulled out due to coronavirus concerns, and rightfully so, because he's had leukemia before. And they then put the title on Braun Strowman, who's held it since. But obviously the show goes on, so we'll see what they do with maybe Reigns attacks tonight or next week at Payback. The winner of Strowman Wyatt to get what he was supposed to get but never did. Because you would think they would, especially for him, he's still might not be coming back for another 6 months. They might hold off on that until the Royal Rumble, have him come out at 30 again, and then everybody boom out of the goddamn building. So, which I want to be shocked to be shocked. Buy one, get one for $1. 50% off or 40% off. Okay, 50% off. Tonight only save up to 50% off championship titles and tees. Now backstage in the locker room, there's Dominic Mysterio, Ray, and then his mother as well. Dominic Mysterio and the Messiah. Dominic has a mask hanging up in his locker. Now, whether or not he's going to wear that or not, we'll see. I mean, obviously those might be raised though too. Yeah, horror show at Extreme Rules against Seth Rollins. Of course, he didn't actually lose his right eye, but you could tell playing his.
Cause of the power outages.
I saw you guys.
And now we got a video package on Retribution with everything they've done, with the lights dimming, going in and out, the transformer being blown up, the car that was overturned. What else did they do? Oh yeah, they threw the cinder block in the front door of the PC. They hijacked the production truck for television. That's why Raw was all screwy with the graphics a few weeks back. They basically have taken over the WWE. And as always, if you hear any noise in the background, just some dogs barking, so don't get worried. I mean, they've been running roughshod. They have. They've literally been taking over Raw and SmackDown. So that's why I think everybody's thinking, okay, yeah, it's somebody or a group of superstars from NXT. As we see, okay, yeah, they brought the chainsaw out too and went to town on the ring. Bolt cutters, and I mean, they've done a whole lot of different acts, and we really didn't see them do a whole lot on SmackDown this past week, as we see that now inside the Thunderdome. And that's why maybe Bray Wyatt has something to do with it as well, because once Vince was in the ring, Bray came out, and then Strowman came out, hyping up their match tonight. They closed out the show like that as well, with the ambulance and everything they did there. But then Retribution attacked Strowman. SmackDown roster came out. Strowman turns on the SmackDown roster to walk away. But other than attacking, they didn't annihilate a ring and Kevin Owens now. All right, this is an add-in match. Kevin Owens on the WWE SummerSlam pay-per-view now inside the Thunderdome. Maybe he has something to do with Retribution. Look at all my friends, and he points to the video boards. He points to all the virtual fans inside the Thunderdome. Owens coming out with a red cutoff shirt with a red tie, and now Kevin Owens is going to be on commentary. Yeah, Owens on commentary. I think my wife is in one of those. This is pretty great, says Kevin Owens. And okay, we're going to have the Raw Tag Team Championship match now next, as Angel Garza and Andrade will make their entrance. It'll be the Street Profits defending against Andrade and Angel Garza, coming up next right now at WWE SummerSlam with Kevin Owens on commentary. So we'll see what they have in store for what Retribution has in store for us tonight. Because other than just attacking on Friday and then being driven out, they really didn't do a whole lot. So hopefully they'll make themselves known tonight. And I'm honestly thinking they're going to reveal themselves to close out the show, leading into Raw tomorrow night. So Andrade, Angel Garza, Zelina Vega will go up against the Street Profits. Vega will be ringside. Maybe Aleister Black, her husband, is a part of Retribution. The one guy in Retribution, though, yes, it does look like Dominik Dijakovic, because the past few weeks there's been that one guy. You can tell it's the same guy, and he's tall just like him. And when he's talked, it sounds like him as well. So Um, if anything, it's probably going to be another Nexus, basically. But maybe 10 times better. But when, Wade Barrett, Bad News Barrett, old Skippy Sheffield Ryback, David Otunga, Heath Slater, PJ Black, Michael Tarver, when they all, hopefully I'm not missing anybody, trying to remember everybody off the top of my head. That was in Nexus a decade ago now. Hard to believe. Yeah, that is hard to believe. Holy hell. Better than what Nexus did, but you never know, because they might run with it, put it on the back burner after a while, and then it doesn't get used, sort of like the mystery hacker. I honestly think whoever the mystery hacker is behind us, and I honestly do think that's going to happen too. So we'll see. Street Profits entrance, we had a ton of Toby Keith's red Solo cups fall from the air. So Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins defending against Andrade and Angel Garza, Zelina Vega ringside. Kevin Owens once again on commentary. The Pikachu. We got a teddy bear on Friday night. We get That's a good one. And okay, Owens is wearing the sleeves off. I couldn't tell what shirt he was wearing, but they're cutting a promo backstage. A red tie. That goes perfect. Just perfect for this Monday Night Raw that has red in its color. And on its brand, in its brand. And this is for the Raw Tag Team Championships. It's the Street Profits. Montez Ford, Angelo Dawkins once again defending against Andrade and Angel Garza. Our first championship match of the evening. On the men's side of things, on the main card. United States Championship match on the kickoff pre-show. And then Bailey Austin, I want to be clear about that. Clothesline off the ropes. Street Profits with some new in-ring gear. Sent ringside crazy. Over the top rope now goes Built Ford Tough, and he gets power bombed as he gets caught. A replay of that catch ringside and the power bomb from Andrade and Angel Garza, who are now in control of Montez Ford and Street. Zoomed in, up, face to face, basically, as we saw it in the WWE Performance Center for the past 5-6 months. Do better, Zelina, says Kevin Owens, who's on commentary. Kevin Owens said hi to all his friends as well in the crowd. Drop kick right to the thighs of Montez Ford and Angel Garza. Rips his pants off. Yes, he still has trunks on underneath. That's just part of his gimmick. Not illegal against Montez Ford. Angelo Dawkins has yet to be in this match. 1, 2, 3, 4. Referee makes Andrade break up the count. Break up the submission in the ropes for a rope break. Kevin Owens, no, I will not shut up. Give me Tom Phillips, Samoa Joe, and Kevin Owens on Raw commentary and take out Byron Saxton. Cover. 1, 2, kick out. Angel Garza with a running kick. Tag made. Andrade now legal. Andrade off the top rope. Andrade going to go for a stomp right to the chest of Montez Ford. Cover. 1, 2, kick out. We haven't seen Bianca Belair as of yet. So she might come out, attack Zelina. Potentially cause the finish to close this match out when the time comes. Because they ran the storyline with Montez getting sick. We found out later Zelina basically poisoned him. But obviously he's alright. And obviously at that point in time, that never actually happened to begin with. So I would think Bianca Belair is going to come out and help the Street Profits out to retain, but we'll see. Another tag made on Andrade legal once again. Kick to the back of the head from Montez Ford. Tag made as well. Angelo Dawkins now in. Clothesline to Andrade. Another clothesline. I'm wearing your shirt, Dawkins. Come on, says Owens on commentary. Dawkins with a right hand to Garza in the corner. Angelo Dawkins now in full control of Andrade. Zelina doesn't know what to think. They say only one person can be in the picture for a spear from Dawkins to Andrade. They say only one person can be in the picture for the virtual fan experience for Thunderdome. Yet I'm seeing a few that have at least 2 people in them. And they're not cutting out as they did on SmackDown Friday night. Another tag made. Garza and Montez Ford once again. Montez off top rope with a frog splash. 1, 2, and then Garza feet on the bottom rope. Andrade holding it down, and then the ref noticed, so he stopped the count. Kick with, oh my God. The first, yeah, I don't think he got all of it either, Tom Phillips. That's a total botch. Actually, on Zelina Vega up on the ring apron, trying to cause a distraction. Montez Ford went for a kick. Someone with a kick to Montez Ford that knocks Zelina Vega off the ring apron. Andrade goes to check on her. Garza in the middle of the ring. Montez reverses. Tag made to Angelo Dawkins. Andrade still checking on Zelina. And this will be go home. A spine buster of some sorts, leading to the splash off the top rope. Cover 1, 2, 3. Street Profits retain over Andrade and Angel Garza as Garza takes the pin. Dawkins makes sure, and the Pikachu's by itself now. And it's basically just the top of Andrade couldn't get back into the ring. And the Street Profits retain and are still your Raw Tag Team Champions, as thought. But a good finish, a good sequence of events to close it out, no doubt about it. But the highlight of the night so far, as it was on Friday night, was the teddy bear. Now tonight it's Pikachu. It's about probably 5-6 rows up. Right to the right of the middle. There's a lion now, too. There's another stuffed animal. Oh, my. They obviously don't pay attention. They're not paying attention to see if, it's moving or not. Maybe with Zelina in the middle. So we got some tension there. Owen's still on commentary. Stay there all night. Kick Byron the hell out. Thanks for having me, says Owens. But you'll never see it coming, as the slogan is for tonight for SummerSlam. Kevin Owens is offering an invitation to Aleister Black for the Kevin Owens show tomorrow night on Monday. You would think it's either going to be the Mystery Hacker. I think people are still hoping it's going to be CM Punk, or it's going to be like a Nexus faction coming up from NXT. And to me, for this Thunderdome, this is going to be, by the looks of it, the new spot for backstage interviews, to say the least. But we'll see, because they did this on the kickoff pre-show with Sarah Schreiber, and it was supposed to be the Street Profits, but then it was Andrade, Angel Garza, and Zelina. It might be in the actual ring though too. I don't know. And then they have the camera point, and then basically all the virtual fans, can see this, head on. But we'll see. Obviously, they're trying new things out, seeing what's working, what's not. It'll take a few tries, a few weeks, maybe even a few months for that matter, to see what happens. For Bayley and Sasha beating Asuka, and then also winning next week as well. But break out the brooms. The Pirates swept the Brewers in Major League Baseball this weekend, which was a little surprising, as they won Friday night and then absolutely destroyed Milwaukee yesterday. And then in the bottom of the eighth, just a few hours ago, took the lead, and then closed out with a save in the top of the ninth at home here today, down in Steel City. So we'll see what happens in Major League Baseball. 60 games, not saying by any means they're going to make the playoffs, because oh my God, they suck. Just the 60 game schedule for 2 months before the upcoming expanded playoffs. So, and then obviously the NBA and NHL playoffs in the bubble. Football starting back up. Wrestling gonna roll on regardless. We'll see what happens in the coming weeks. First, Payback promo next Sunday, 7 p.m. Eastern Time on the WWE Network. I will have live reactions, play live right here on YouTube of WWE Payback next week, so be sure to tune in. Keep an eye out for my Payback preview predictions as well. Now next, it's going to be Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville. It was a hair versus hair match. It's now a no disqualification, loser leaves town match. And now we're going to go back and actually just a Friday on SmackDown. And as Corey Graves just stated, relive the saga with two former tag team partners, Fire and Desire, Mandy Rose and Sonya Deville, who were both on WWE Tough Enough 5 years ago with the Velveteen Dream. And Mandy's been with Heavy Machinery. Sonya's been with The Miz and Morrison, hey hey, ho ho, in some 6 mixed tag team matches. So, maybe Otis or Tucker or Miz or Morrison get involved in this, since it is no disqualification. Sonya was actually just in a real life situation with a stalker of hers driving to her home and invading her privacy. He is now in jail, and rightfully so, and that's where he deserves to be. Mandy was also there, from what I've heard as well. Hopefully recent real-life situations with WWE superstars, because you still got to remember, these people are still real-life humans. Like, they have real lives just like us. Because we had this, and then the most recent, before then, would have been the attacker to Bret Hart last year WrestleMania 35 weekend during the Hall of Fame ceremony. So we'll see what happens tonight. I'm thinking Mandy's still going to win because it was a hair versus hair match. Mandy already got her haircut, so that means you would think Mandy's going to win. Sonya's going to get her haircut then tonight as well. But now they're up in the ante, and it's now a no disqualification match. Loser leaves WWE. So maybe something's up with whoever's going to lose. And I mean, Sonya's stated before she wants to get into MMA, so maybe she wants to go that route. Maybe they're going to let her do that for a little while. Maybe they'll have her lose, and then all the legal. Right now, they figure all that out, and then bring her back when the time's right. You have Otis as Money in the Bank. They need to do something there with him. Mandy's been associated with him for quite a while as his peach, so it'll be interesting to see for sure what happens here with Sonya Deville and Mandy Rose. A no disqualification, loser leaves WWE match here tonight at WWE SummerSlam. Hashtag SummerSlam, hashtag WWE Thunderdome when you share on social media. I mean, really, too, loser leaves WWE. Maybe they just want time off. Maybe they just want a few weeks or a few months off, and then, they bring them back when the time's right. Or, really, honestly, because of the booking, maybe they don't have anything for either of them to do, which doesn't really add up or make any sense, but it's the WWE. Okay, there's two screens beside each other and has the same guy in it. They're obviously not paying attention to who the hell is watching virtually in the Thunderdome. Here comes Mandy Rose, Sonya in the ring. This has been a long time coming. Fire and Desire. They finally split them up, and here we go. SummerSlam 2020, Mandy Rose, Sonya Deville. Bell rings, match underway.
It makes a lot of sense. It's tough to live in someone's shadow your whole life. Deville, Rose, no disqualification.
Sonya with a shove. Mandy went for a quick, and Sonya rolls her up real quick. Kick out at one. Right hand that didn't even connect. Oh my God. And now they're both ringside. Sonya with a few kicks to the midsection. Mandy throwing Sonya into the barricade. No green shirt guy. He still might be there, but actually he is there. He's a few rows back now that I say that. He's a few rows back to the left. He's not front row or right in the middle though. He's still, his streak continues. He is still there virtually in the WWE Thunderdome. Vertical suplex from Mandy to Sonya on the entrance ramp. Rolling into the ring, nope. Right to the ring post. And Mandy continuing to adjust her outfit. A new look for her this evening with her fresh haircut, as Braun Strowman also has a fresh look as well with his newly shaved head. The son of the Big Show and Gene Snitsky. We'll get Strowman, Bray Wyatt later on tonight. The Fiend Bray Wyatt for the Universal title. Mandy in control, throwing Sonya into the barricade once again. Mandy now up on top of the announce table right in front of Corey Graves and Michael Cole. And she jumps and takes her down with a clothesline. And Mandy Rose has been in full control so far. I'm thinking her outfit, the gold outfit that she normally wears, something was up with it, and then they made her throw on top of it this white singlet. Mandy now trying to set up a table, and she can't turn it over for God's sakes. So she slides it. What the hell? She slides it into the ring apron, and now she's going to try to pick it up once again. Third time's a charm. There you go, Mandy Rose. Having a hard time setting up the table. I am the table. Sonya with a chair in the meantime, right to the midsection of Mandy Rose. It doesn't seem like they're weaving people in and out of the Thunderdome. It seems like everybody's in the same spot, but also during the commercial breaks, the promos in between, you know, all the matches, they could at that point be flipping everybody around. Sonya now in control. Cover in the ring, 1, 2, kick out by Mandy. We've had loser leaves WWE matches before. It's not like whoever's lost has never come back, so whoever loses will be back eventually. It's just a matter of when. Sonya off the ropes, running knee, cover, 1, 2, another kick out. Mandy off the ropes. Sonya catches her. Submission lock in now.
Incredibly difficult submission to escape. Mandy Rose trying to use any means she can fathom to get out. Able to break the hold at least momentarily. A perfectly legal fistful of hair from Sonya Deville. Breaking at the eyes of Mandy. This is getting nasty to her. Completely legal because this is no disqualification. Mandy trying to get a triangle now by Deville applied. But he got her hips elevated. She needs to pass Mandy's shoulder underneath her chin to really finish this submission minute. Sonya just berating Mandy firmly up.
Cover, 1, 2, kick out.
That forced Deville to break the triangle. Great situational awareness by Mandy Rose. Sonya Deville pulling out all the stops here tonight.
Something just fell out of somebody's pocket. Ref just picked it up. Sonya yelling at Mandy, come on, get up. We don't got all night. Slap from Mandy. Some fans virtually showing off their WWE merch. Mandy with a kick, cover, 1, 2, kick out 2.5. This really hasn't been an ODQ match by any means, because other than Mandy setting up the table that somebody's probably going to go through to close it out, and then the steel chair shots, okay, nothing other than that's happened. So, and it's not like they are getting any ladders and climbing and, you know, kendo sticks or barbed wire bats or anything along those lines. No, nothing. So you might as well still have hair versus hair match, and the loser has to leave the WWE along with getting their haircut. But that's not the case anymore. But hey, who knows? They might, say at the end, well, technically this was a hair versus hair match. You signed up for it. You lose. You still have to get your haircut. We add in it's no DQ, and you still got to leave the company if you lose. So Sonya laying on the table that Mandy had set up, and then Mandy up on the ring apron, about ready to jump, and then Sonya falls off. Mandy looking underneath the ring once again for something else. Grabs a steel chair and gonna go bowling there a little bit on the top of the table, and she is literally sliding tables or chairs, across the table and almost hit the cameraman. Table gets knocked over. Big kick from Sonya. Both women down and out now, ringside from the announce table.
Sliding those chairs down, trying to take on Brazil's head. Now Sonya now with Mandy on her shoulders. And Mandy able to counter. And now it's
Mandy going for a pedigree.
We've seen Mandy use this in the past to great success.
Sonya reverses, big kick right to the face. Fans are actually getting involved. Sonya picks up Mandy. Mandy falls. See, there's a shot with two people in it. Why didn't their screen go black? Like, obviously they don't even care about the own roles that they set. But they are a big business, and, politics are politics. Is what it is. Running knee from Mandy to Sonya. And Mandy. Cover. Get up. Mandy literally yelling and screaming at Sonya before another running knee. Cover 1, 2, 3. Mandy Rose, as thought, defeats Sonya Deville, and Sonya Deville now has to leave the WWE. So they'll play it out. They'll let her deal with legal. She doesn't have to get her hair cut now, though. Unless they still, hey, this was a hair versus hair match. You still got to get your hair cut. And you still got to leave. And not come back until we tell you to. Even though she'll still be under contract, obviously, because, like I said, it's a loser leaves WWE match. We've had these, time and time again in the past, and normally whoever loses always comes back anyway. So Sonya a little upset ringside. Playing it out pretty good. Mad and upset that she lost, and she has to leave. Here comes Otis with his Money in the Bank. Hey, she's not a champion by any means, but he's doing the caterpillar in the ring, and then he picks up Mandy, and they're hugging it out in the middle of the ring. And now Mandy up on Otis's shoulder, celebrating her win over Sonya Deville here tonight at SummerSlam. And they're both going to do the caterpillar. Mandy can't do it. What the hell is that? Jesus Christ. Now, just stop while you're ahead. Not even by much, but just stop. Mandy Rose, your winner. They need to do something with Otis and Money in the Bank. They do. Talked about it last night. And when he cashes in, he is not going to win a championship. He's going to lose when he cashes in. But hey, you never know. They might have him beat Orton or McIntyre or Strowman or Bray. WWE Network promo for everything new and upcoming on the WWE Network with Broken Skull, WWE 24, The Untold, R-Truth's new game show, every pay-per-view event, Payback. Okay. We now know the lineup from now until WrestleMania 37. There's Undertaker celebrating his last ride. WWE Chronicle, The Bump. Strowman getting his head shaved. Dominic Mysterio and the Messiah, Seth frickin' Rollins. Sorry for technical difficulties once again. But in that recent network promo, as mentioned, we now know the pay-per-view schedule from now until WrestleMania 37 next spring. As tonight, obviously, yes, SummerSlam next week, Payback, then Clash of Champions, followed by Hell in a Cell, Survivor Series, and TLC to close out the 2020 calendar year. Then Royal Rumble, Super 7 still penciled in for WrestleMania Hollywood out at the new SoFi Stadium in Los Angeles. But only time will tell if in fact that will happen as scheduled. I highly doubt it. I'm thinking they're going to be in this WWE Thunderdome from now until at least the end of the year, and then potentially even longer, further into early 2021. So, video package for Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins that is coming up next. That'll have Rey Mysterio and Buddy Murphy ringside. So yes, with that announcement basically of the upcoming WWE pay-per-view schedule, breaking news on their end. Be sure to tune back in. But for all WWE pay-per-views, be sure to keep an eye out for preview predictions and live reactions for the play, live right here on YouTube. So Payback next week, Clash of Champions next month, followed by Hell in a Cell, Survivor Series, and TLC, and then the Royal Rumble, Super Showdown, Elimination Chamber, and WrestleMania next March. As of now, might be April though, depending on if things get changed. But due to Easter, it's in March, end of March right now, and it's normally based on, for WrestleMania, this is when WrestleMania is, it's based on when Easter is. So, Easter in April next year, WrestleMania 37 already. It seems like we're just at WrestleMania 36 back in April, but we're here, WWE SummerSlam tonight, WrestleMania 37 next March as of now, but we'll see if plans change or not. This video package rolls on with Rey and Dominic standing tall over Seth Rollins. Seth Rollins now making his entrance tonight at SummerSlam. He has a very, very good record at SummerSlam, so I wouldn't be shocked if he picks up the win tonight, but Dominic Mysterio has to win this match. He has to, you would think, right? Well, we'll find out. I've gotten accustomed, I've gotten used to Seth Rollins' new entrance music. He's actually coming out with a new wardrobe that'll probably be featured in a figure or two at some point down the road. It looks like it's a reddish pink that has black in it as well, and honestly, I'm not really surprised that he has new a new wardrobe tonight, but it looks like whoever makes Bailey's ring gear made this for Seth Rollins tonight as well, because on his right leg, going down the side, as Bailey also has some words in that area. Rollins has that tonight as well. So both Murphy and Rollins sort of switched ring gear for tonight, because Murphy's normally dressed in, you know, a purple or a grayish black. Yet tonight he's in what Rollins sort of normally wears, in black, white, and gold, as maybe he's going to be a part of the Hurt Business. But then Rollins is in, you know, a pinkish, a reddish pink. And he takes his top off, of course, because that's a zipper, a cut-off sweatshirt that zips up. And Dominic Mysterio actually wearing sort of the same thing backstage in Gorilla now, talking with his father Ray and his mother. Here comes Dominic Mysterio with his entrance, getting the Humberto Carrillo treatment with the same color scheme. And Ray out there by his side now as well. Hey, take it all in. And they butt heads. Mysterio in a black and blue outfit, in which I would think he's hoping to make Seth Rollins black and blue and pick up the win tonight at SummerSlam. Yeah, this might as well be a custody match between Ray and Eddie for Dominic, but here we are, Dominic Mysterio embracing all the virtual fans as he gets ready to compete against Seth Rollins tonight at SummerSlam. Bell rings, match underway. Dominic Mysterio and Seth Rollins. And Dominic not actually going to take his sweatshirt off. He's going to keep it on. He still might be a little beat up, though, from those kendo stick shots over the past few weeks. Seth Rollins with the takedown. Via their hands. Rollins with another takedown. And Rollins, yes, as Pat McAfee, Adam Cole had to last night with Pat McAfee. Rollins is going to carry this match. But McAfee showed out. I'm thinking Dominic Mysterio is going to show out as well, just due to the fact his father is Rey Mysterio, for God's sakes. But hey, you never know. You would think that, of course, yes, but I mean, depending on how Dominic Mysterio fares tonight, Pat McAfee might have the better showing between the two, and I mean, really, honestly, that's not a good thing if I'm Dominic Mysterio. But they lock up once again. Mysterio actually just had Rollins in a headlock off of the distraction, but Rollins talking with Ray, who's ringside. Murphy also ringside, as mentioned as well. He's with a knee right to the gut. Off the ropes. And alright, that's not bad. That's not that bad, but Couple shoulder takedowns. Dominic Mysterio with a kip up. Hey, Rollins, bring it on. Rollins giving him a round of applause. I'm the Messiah, and I'm Seth frickin' Rollins, and I'm going to beat you. I'm going to put you over in the process, but I'm still going to beat you. But, like I said, you would think Dominic Mysterio is going to win this match because he sort of has to. Especially with Seth picking up the win over Ray at Horror Show at Extreme Rules. Like, come on.
Coming into this match, those sticks by Murphy and Rollins a number of weeks ago on Monday Night Raw. Strikes in total all over the upper body of Dominic Mysterio.
Give me a kendo stick, says Rollins to Buddy Murphy. This is a street fight. So, a kendo stick, along with every other object, will in fact be allowed. Dominic Mysterio with a kip up and then a drop kick to Seth. He picks up that very kendo stick, and Seth rolls out of the ring. Seth's going to have a lot of kendo stick shots on him by the end of this match because a few weeks back on Raw. Because Rollins, he did most of the work in this. I mean, as did Ray after he returned a few weeks back, but Rollins and Murphy have been standing tall. But then it's sort of been split because once after Ray came back, Ray and Dominic were standing tall. So you could go either way with whoever, is going to end up winning this, but we'll see.
Hate to see him, but Seth Rollins may. Dominic Mysterio being ravaged by those kendo sticks, and right now Seth Rollins having his way for Dominic.
And right now, Dominic is in desperate need of finding an opening. When he finds that opening, he needs to stay on it and keep his foot on the gas and run straight off to the victory.
They know the brutality that Seth Rollins is capable of. We saw the
Rollins with a vertical suplex in the middle of the ring. Seth then talking to Ray ringside once again.
shows you how sick and twisted Seth Rollins is. Not only wanting to punish Dominic.
Rollins after a sling blade off the ropes. Sorry once again for any technical difficulties with the disconnect and reconnect. Rollins now talking with the official. Still to come though tonight at WWE SummerSlam, we'll have Sasha Banks and Asuka. That'll be for the Raw Women's Championship. Along with, and honestly, I would think that's next, because then following that, we're going to have Randy Orton, Drew McIntyre, Fiend Bray Wyatt, Braun Strowman for the WWE and Universal Championships respectively. And then you would think Retribution's going to do something in the meantime as well. Honestly, they could add something else in, but with Raw, NXT, and SmackDown still to come this week, and then Payback a week from tonight, a match card that they're going to have to fill very, very quickly. I'm thinking the conclusion of this, plus those three matches, and then that's that for SummerSlam, finished up by probably 9:30, quarter 10 o'clock here on the East Coast. In the good old US of A. Hopefully everyone's staying safe during these times, but this is the new normal. It's a 2.5 short of 3 hour, maybe 3 hour pay-per-view. Just due to the fact they're not booking pay-per-views as full as what they're used to, due to all the circumstances, but the show goes on, so it is what it is. Chair set up in the middle of the ring in the meantime. Dominic Mysterio now in full control. Rollins just hit his head off of it after a maneuver of some sorts. The ref actually moves that now out of the way, and Dominic Mysterio throws Rollins into the corner. Kendo stick and a steel chair in this street fight. When you think of a street fight, okay, you're thinking of two guys fighting on the street. Well, and a big DDT from Dominic to Rollins, cover 1-2 kick out by Seth. You would think for WWE street fights, or wrestling street fights in general, they would, have a street set up backstage of some sorts. And, you'd be allowed to fight all over the damn place, but no, they're going to keep us in the ring. So and Samoa Joe batter up Dominic Mysterio. That's a single right to the stomach of Seth Rollins. A double now, along with a triple into the gap to the back of the Messiah. And boom, home run, as he's now going to town on Seth frickin' Rollins. Why don't you hit a few grand slams like the Padres did 4 days in a row this past week? Dominic Mysterio going to go up top. Padres actually became the first MLB team in history to hit 4 straight grand slams in 4 straight days against the hosting Texas Rangers in their new ballpark. That'll, I would assume, host a future Royal Rumble at some point in time. As when we do get back to normal with actual live fans in attendance, Royal Rumbles, by the looks of it, will be in baseball stadiums moving forward. But, they might go back to arenas, but who knows. Vertical suplex off the top rope, Falcon Arrow by Rollins as well in the middle of the ring to Dominic Mysterio as they zoom in on Dom's mom backstage in Gorilla. Kick out at 2, match continues. Two kendo sticks now. 2 more kendo sticks for a total of 3. 2 kendo sticks for Seth Rollins right now. He has 1 in each hand. Now he's going to town to Dominic Mysterio once again. Ray's going to get involved one way or another, since it's no DQ, it's a street fight. Because Rollins is egging him on. Rollins wants a table now. Doesn't seem to be enough as he hits him once more with another kendo stick shot. Buddy Murphy also having some trouble at the table tonight. Slides it into the ring. And, okay, that's on WWE's end. They have the screen go black for a second because Mysterio is, hey, you son of a bitch, to Rollins. So obviously they didn't cut the audio, they just cut the feed. But now we're back. They cut the feed, but you can still hear the audio. Like, it didn't add up. It makes sense. Time and place, says Joe. Samoa Joe also got involved in this storyline as well. He stood up to Seth Rollins. They teased him potentially, making a return, but obviously that still hasn't happened. So maybe Samoa Joe up against Apollo Crews, U.S. title, going back to that. A few more kendo stick shots to the back, and you hear the "oh" from the crowd. Somebody's going through the table that's set up in the corner. They're both up on the top turnbuckle. Murphy also ringside with a kendo stick. And then Dominic Mysterio reverses it. Rollins sitting now on the top rope. And they both go through the table, back first, off of the middle rope. But Dom also had the kendo stick around the neck of Seth Rollins. Ray talking up a storm. Dominic now going up top. He's going to go for the frog splash, it looks like. Eddie Guerrero style. And he hits that. Cover. 1, 2. Kick out at 2.5. That should be his finisher. It should. And then eventually, once he turns heel, he has to play dirty a little bit, so be it. Dominic Mysterio now going over to talk with his father a little bit. And Rollins down and out in the ring. Dom's got a steel chair now. And he literally just slides the chair over to the other corner. Why the hell did you do that? Rollins with a super kick. That was a stupid decision by Dominic Mysterio. Rollins now with a power bomb. Oh, that had to hurt. That was hard. That was a big power bomb. Good God. Now Rollins is going to take off the top of Dominic Mysterio. Yeah, that had to hurt. I'm seeing that replay. Dominic doesn't really have a whole lot of marks left from those kendo stick shots a few weeks back on Raw, but he's going to have a few more after tonight. Rollins going to town once again. Pull up, 1, 2, 3. Ray's going to distract Seth. Now, Ray gets down. More kendo stick shots to Dominic Mysterio. And now Murphy underneath the ring grabbing something else. What the hell is that? Handcuffs. Seth Rollins now has a pair of handcuffs. Rollins egging on Rey Mysterio. Rollins has the one handcuff on the middle rope. And now Rey gonna walk up the entrance ramp because here comes Dominic Mysterio's mother. And Seth, hey, come on. Come on down to the ring. And Dominic's going to quick roll up. 1, 2, kick out. Oh, I thought that was it. And now Murphy's in the ring now as well. This is a street fight, so it's legal. We had a takedown. Murphy with a big knee right to the face of Dominic. And now Murphy rolling out of the ring as well with Dominic. And they're going to do the eye spot now on the steel steps once again. Here comes Ray from behind attacking Buddy Murphy. And here comes Rollins now as well from behind attacking Rey Mysterio. Dominic into the barricade. Ooh, Ray just hit his head on the ring apron, but the LED board ring apron side of things. And now they're going to handcuff Rey Mysterio to the handcuffs, to the middle rope. This is a street fight at SummerSlam. Rey Mysterio, his son in Dominic, facing the Messiah of the WWE and Seth frickin' Rollins. And now Buddy Murphy, he must have got a sale or something on kendo sticks, because we've had about 10 of them now being used tonight in the street fight. And now here come Rollins and Murphy with kendo sticks to Rey Mysterio, but Rollins and Murphy now look up at the top of the ramp and see Dominic's mother, and they're going to go after her now, it looks like, with some kendo sticks. Or actually, Rollins drops his. Rey Mysterio can't do a goddamn thing because he's handcuffed to the rope. Dominic just got thrown into the barricade, but he'll come attack Rollins from behind here. Yeah, there we go. They're now fighting at the bottom of the entrance ramp. So, and Murphy misses with a kendo stick shot. Murphy gets thrown over the barricade into the entrance, or into the non-crowd side of things, where there's no virtual fans at all. By the entrance, right to the left of the entrance ramp. Here comes Murphy once again. Just got thrown over. 619 on the ring apron from Dominic Mysterio to Seth Rollins. Rollins thrown into the ring now. Rey Mysterio still handcuffed to the middle rope. And here comes Dominic Mysterio with a 619 of his own. And he's going to go the other way, up top for a frog splash and cover 1, 2, 3. Dominic Mysterio is going to win this. Frog splash, but Rollins got his knees up. Rollins got his knees up in the process. Match continues. Ray, helpless. He can't do anything. I swear to God, I'm bugged, because I'm telling you what. Anything I say, oh, here we go. Michael Cole, Tom Phillips, they say the same goddamn thing right after. Ray now in the ring as well, but he's still handcuffed. Buddy Murphy ringside. And Rollins telling, hey, Ray, come over here just a little further, but obviously there's nothing he can do. He's lifeless now, basically. We'll see if they say that. Actually, Dominic and Ray are coming closer to... Dominic and Seth are coming closer to Ray, excuse me. And then Seth Rollins with a stomp. Cover 1, 2, 3. Seth Rollins, your winner over Dominic Mysterio, following the blackout curb stomp here tonight at WWE SummerSlam. You would think now this feud's done and over with. Boos from the crowd. I mean, it makes sense to have Rollins win, it does, because Dominic's in his first match. He wins, what do you do with him moving forward? He still needs some more practice. He did look good. He had a good outing. Not as good as what Pat McAfee, though, I think last night did at TakeOver against Adam Cole. But with Rollins winning, you then potentially insert him into the WWE Championship feud into that picture with either Drew McIntyre or Randy Orton. Okay, yes, I know they had McIntyre Rollins at Money in the Bank for the WWE title and Drew won. But if you have Orton win tonight, they have not done Orton Rollins in a number of years, dating back to the Authority when Rollins was Mr. Money in the Bank. So, revisit that potentially. Murphy's going to be by Rollins' side for the foreseeable future now, it looks like. I would have turned him on Rollins by now. But in the meantime, too, I've even stated, maybe even Retribution, they are more messiahs, more disciples for the Monday Night Messiah, for Seth frickin' Rollins. Maybe Retribution is, or maybe they are disciples for Seth Rollins, the Messiah of the WWE. And Rollins is behind all of this. And he's top dog on Monday Night Raw, regardless if he's champion or not. A good match. A very good match. And they played it out. Rollins, yeah, he carried. But Dominic, he knew what the hell he was doing. He had a good outing. He had a good performance. As Rollins and Murphy walk away. And Ray and Dom now in the ring, trying to figure out what the hell happened, why they didn't come out victorious as they hug it out. So yeah, that's that. And they fade to black. Or potentially we'll see Aleister Black on the Kevin Owens show tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. What the hell is this? Is this the new WWE Battleground? Yeah. When you want to brawl with friends, head to the Battlegrounds. WWE Battlegrounds replacing the WWE 2K. Street Profits now in a video package of some sorts, acting as if they're in the military. However, they have a Xbox controller. Oh, and this is for the what's it called? Not Call of Duty. The World of Tanks, yes. Thank you. But that now you can actually have WWE versions of respective tanks. Now a shot of Raymond James Stadium. That was for WrestleMania 36. WWE Network presents the 24 documentary of WrestleMania 36. The show must go on. As that was the first show, first pay-per-view, first big pay-per-view. And it's WrestleMania of all things. In the pandemic, that they had to move from Tampa to Orlando to the WWE PC. And they were planning for 14 months, and we're going to get a lot of behind the scenes, as we normally do with these WWE 24s, as WrestleMania went from one night to two. The show must go on. WWE WrestleMania 36, WWE 24 tonight on the WWE Network, following SummerSlam. Innovative and challenging year, yes indeed. 24 edition of WrestleMania tonight. It's actually already on the network, but tonight after SummerSlam. Yeah, 2020 can really just go to hell. Never come back with everything that has gone on. But coming up next, It's boss time, Tom Phillips. Come on, you got to say it like Michael Cole. Sasha Banks, Asuka for the Raw Women's title. Bayley already defeated Asuka to retain her SmackDown Women's title. Next week at Payback, the Boston Hug Connection, the Golden Role Models of Bayley and Sasha will defend their women's tag team titles against a to-be-determined opponent. So we'll have this, and then I would think Randy Orton defeating Drew McIntyre to become a 14-time WWE champ here tonight at SummerSlam. And then the main event, as this is the third last match, I'm thinking, co-main event with McIntyre, Orton for the WWE title, Strowman, Fiend Bray Wyatt, tonight's main event for the Universal Championship. So thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Chat questions and comments, always greatly appreciated. Super chats, along with super stickers now as well. Like, follow, and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button. Share hashtag SummerSlam, hashtag WWE Thunderdome on social media. And be sure to tune back in tomorrow night as well for more live reactions. WWE Monday Night Raw in the Thunderdome as well, along with keeping an eye out for my WWE Payback preview predictions, along with live reactions, play-by-play a week from tonight for WWE Payback 2020. My breaking news still to come later tonight. Stay tuned. That's a good one. That person's going to be on the blocked list. They'll never be able to join the WWE Thunderdome ever again. Somebody front row, virtually, in the WWE Thunderdome, as Asuka's going to get another entrance because she has 2 matches tonight. They threw up a sign, and it said, and it was a black sign with white lettering, and it said Fire Velveteen Dream, with everything going on with them. That's a good one. That's a good one. We've had a teddy bear, Pikachu, and now Fire Velveteen Dream as our top 3 for the time being. Top 3 non-people for virtually, of course, for the WWE Thunderdome. So they'll probably take that person out, I would think. Yeah. Raw Women's title now on the line. What do we got here? Checking out social media there for a second before this match officially begins. Honestly, don't know what's going to happen with this now. I don't know. This will be interesting. So now with this, okay, they'll give them 12 minutes. This will go till 9 o'clock. We'll probably go till 10 with the 2 championship matches still to come. They'll definitely give McIntyre Orton a lot of time. Strowman and The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, probably 15 minutes. And then you got to add in entrances, video packages, all the promo commercials, if you will. So, yeah, we're probably going to get a 3-hour SummerSlam tonight. And then this stream will be about 3.5, maybe a little longer, with the post show part of it, with the review and results, and of course, still to come, my breaking news that you will not want to miss.
This is an opportunity for restitution.
Four count for Asuka as she's ringside. Sasha rolls in. Asuka another 4 count. Make that 6 before she gets back into the ring. Kick out at 2 by Sasha. Armbar locked in. Ooh, Asuka with a kick to the ring post as Sasha moved out of the way. I just thought, too, okay, say they do have Reigns return sometime soon. Ooh, oh my God, a huge powerbomb from Sasha to Asuka ringside off of the ring apron. That was worse than the Rollins Dominic Mysterio one. Oh my God, she hit her head hard. If she's not concussed, I mean, come on, there's something seriously wrong with that. 4 count for both of them. Bayley also ringside. But what if, say Reigns is a part of Retribution? That was, oh my God. I mean, and she sold it well. I mean, she did the right thing for a powerbomb. You know, her arms were out and typical maneuver, like, she just hit hard. But power bombs every once in a while can be like that, and we've seen a few of those now tonight. Ref telling her to watch the hair. And I was told too that, like I said earlier, you can't have more than one person in the video. You can't wear a hat. Basically follow our rules and, you'll be on. Yet I've seen, I don't know how many people with more than one person in their feed. And now I see people with hats. And it doesn't seem like they're booting anybody. Like, it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of black screens and they're weaving people in and out. Yeah, they're shuffling them around. Like, you can tell, as the show has gone on, that, people aren't in the same spot as what they were earlier. So, honestly, I don't think they're really paying that close attention who's in the shot, or hell, what they're doing for that matter. But I mean, if you get caught, you get caught. It's a chance to take. But it is the WWE Thunderdome. They're still getting used to it, as all of us watching are as well. Seeing all these fans on a screen. So over time, you know, they might get a little bit better, but we'll see. You would hope so. Sasha, because SummerSlam was supposed to happen in Boston, she probably would have got a huge reception. And then if they were going to pull the trigger on her turning on Bayley, or Bayley turning on her, that's probably when they would have done it. But, of course, because of all the circumstances, we've had no fans and just everything wrapped up into one for the past how many months. Change of plans, you know, here we are now. So, show goes on. Show goes on. Now off the middle rope in the corner, a DDT from Asuka to Sasha. That was big. We've had a lot of big moves tonight at SummerSlam. Everybody's showing out. Two count for Sasha. 3 now from your official referee, John Cone, as his son is a former tag team champion along with Braun Strowman in WrestleMania 34, 2.5 years ago now. Asuka rolls out of the ring, throws Sasha into the barricade. Asuka now going up top. Okay, if Sasha loses, she gets mad then at that point, and then they lose again next week, and then she turns on Bayley, and then you would think both would be on SmackDown, and they would feud for the SmackDown Women's title. Kick out at 2, and then Asuka's your Raw Women's Champion. Whoever becomes Raw Tag and SmackDown Tag, for that matter, your Women's Tag Team Champs. Asuka feuds with, say, Shayna Baszler for the Raw Women's title. You know, something along those lines. One, two, kick out at 2 3/4. Frog splash misses from Sasha. They really aren't hyping up the Thunderdome a whole lot tonight as what they were on Friday Night SmackDown the other night. But, I mean, it is SummerSlam though, so if you watch SmackDown, if you know, you know. Like, they don't even keep telling us. So. Bayley giving Sasha a pep talk in the corner. Here comes Asuka, and has Sasha now in the Asuka lock. Sasha's gonna tap. No? Sasha rolls it through, cover on Asuka, kick out at 2, and then the bank statement now locked in on Asuka. Asuka rolls it through and has a submission of her own now locked in. Sasha grabbing the hair a little bit. Somebody's dressed up as Sting. Somebody has their face painted like, oh my God. They got the whole outfit on too. There's a Sting lookalike now in the crowd. Bayley just took an elbow for Sasha. Here comes Sasha with the bank statement. No. Asuka rolls it through. Asuka lock once again. Sasha's going to tap. Sasha's going to tap. Sasha Banks taps out. Asuka's your new Raw Women's Champion. So now, yeah, that's what they'll do. They'll have Sasha be mad at Bayley because she lost. They should lose next week. I'll say that. They should lose the women's tag team titles now next week at Payback. Regardless of who it is, they should lose. We'll see if they do or not. But they should. And then, because Sasha's mad, Bayley's still your SmackDown Women's Champion. You have Sasha turn on Bayley. And then you have the feud be for the SmackDown Women's Championship on Friday Night SmackDown to give that women's division some life. And then you have them feud into Hell in a Cell and Survivor Series. Then for Asuka, as your Raw Women's Champion, you have Shayna Baszler, you have Nia Jax, you have Mickie James, who just returned, but I highly doubt they'll give her a title match. There's a few others, but depending on what happens with the Women's Tag Team Championships, really Raw Underground as well, because Nia was on that. You know, that'll determine who Asuka faces. Now, Asuka was a champion just after Money in the Bank, as she won Money in the Bank on the women's side of things, and then Becky Lynch had to relinquish her championship due to her pregnancy. Hope all is well there. But then Asuka was defeated. And however, in the meantime, she found a way to get back into a championship match, and tonight at SummerSlam has become the Raw Women's Champion once again. Maybe Sasha is going to turn on Bayley now as Asuka's walking up the ramp victorious. They're still in the ring though. And then that has tension then all this week, leading into SmackDown and then leading into their Payback Women's Tag Team Championship match next week at the Payback pay-per-view. Coming up next, though, WWE SummerSlam, it'll be Drew McIntyre, the Scottish Psychopath, the Chosen One, defending his WWE Championship against the Viper, the returning Legend Killer, and Randy Orton. That, in fact, will be our co-main event, followed by Braun Strowman defending his Universal Championship against the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. And then hopefully at that point, Retribution has done something and makes themselves known and reveals themselves to close out SummerSlam. But on top of that, hopefully Randy Orton becomes WWE Champion, and hopefully the Fiend Bray Wyatt regains and recaptures his Universal Championship that he never should have lost 6 months ago in the Middle East of Saudi Arabia at WWE Super Showdown to Bill Goldberg, of all people. But coming up next, it'll be McIntyre, Orton, followed by Strowman, Wyatt. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. My breaking news still to come, so stay tuned. Like, follow, and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button. Share hashtag SummerSlam, hashtag WWE Thunderdome on social media. Chat questions and comments, super chats, super stickers. Always greatly appreciated. Video package for McIntyre Orton. McIntyre had a point when he said that Orton should have been fired way more times than what he was, obviously due to Orton's history with PEDs, but he got suspended, and he kept coming back, and Randy Orton's the Viper. And Cody Rhodes making an appearance during SummerSlam tonight in the video package here. With that would have been Orton back 2013, 2014 as your WWE World Heavyweight Champion before he lost it to Daniel Bryan at WrestleMania 30. I talked about this in my preview predictions for TakeOver and SummerSlam this weekend, so hopefully check those out. Keep an eye out for Payback next week. But the Legend Killer is back, and it all started at Backlash in WWE's greatest wrestling match ever with Edge, who's on the shelf injured, and then it was Christian, followed by the Big Show, Ric Flair, and Shawn Michaels this past week as well. So, McIntyre, as mentioned in my preview predictions, he's no legend by any means to Randy Orton. Vice versa, yeah, but currently, Drew McIntyre, and rightfully so, is this year's Royal Rumble winner and our current WWE champion. As his broken dreams came true a few different times this year. And, people have been getting on McIntyre for being a sucky WWE champion. He's been a damn good WWE champion, if you ask me. But, yes, the time is right to probably take the title off of him and put it back on Randy Orton for the first time in a few years. So, we'll see what happens. Orton, in his veins, hearing voices in his head. Once again, it's going to be Drew McIntyre, Randy Orton for the WWE Championship in our co-main event this evening at WWE SummerSlam. He will become a 14-time WWE champion if he wins tonight. Someone thinking it's St. Patrick's Day, as Orton wearing his new sweatshirt that has the Legend Killer on the back. Orton with his pose, and then the old school pyro coming from up above. A mixed reaction for Randy Orton, to say the least, right now. As we hear some cheers and boos. And now Shawn Michaels on the video insert. And it seems like this is a live interview, and Orton, however, it's not. You know it's not. It's pre-taped. Orton with throwing his sweatshirt into the crowd, where there's nobody other than the video boards. Orton with the low blow to the fans, throwing his shirt into the crowd. Here comes the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. This is pretty damn cool, says Drew. There's the sting. There's the stinger. That's a good one. A teddy bear, Pikachu, Fire Velveteen Dream, and now Sting, of all things, inside the WWE Thunderdome. That's a good one. That's good. That's funny. Drew getting the spotlight with a lot of fire for him as well. More so fire than a ton of pyro, but we'll see how much longer Drew McIntyre is going to be a WWE champ. Because if you take it off of him, what do you do? A rematch next week, and then what? Put him on SmackDown? You don't have the title on Orton, he can still put over people. I would still put the title on Orton, though, I would. And then you just figure it out. Because that's what you got to do regardless of whoever wins. Whatever the story is, and blah, 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 so. One fall. Yeah, they'll give them probably till 9:30. It's almost about quarter after. And then we'll have the video package and entrances for Braun and Bray, and then they'll go till 10 o'clock. And then Retribution potentially to close out the show. And that's SummerSlam.
the WWE Championship before this defense here at SummerSlam.
After overtime, this is Drew McIntyre's last look at the WWE Championship.
139 days ago, McIntyre defeated the Beast Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania.
Bell rings, match underway. Orton right away rolls out of the ring.
Oh, because this is something about Randy Orton. Randy Orton wants Randy Orton needs. And if he wants to take a break, if he wants to cruise, take this time as he stops his break. That's exactly what Randy Orton wants. Right, John? This is all psychology on behalf of Randy Orton.
Orton playing mind games, yeah. Randy Orton played mind games with the chosen one.
I don't see frustration, Joe. I think Drew McIntyre expected this. Drew McIntyre expected the mind games of Randy Orton.
Maybe Jinder's going to return and screw over Drew. Because then that goes back to Backlash 2017 with Randy Orton and Jinder for the WWE title. So, not throwing it out just yet, but we'll see. McIntyre now chasing Orton around the ring. Orton back in the ring. Big kick to the back.
And this is the trap that Drew McIntyre does not want to get stuck in.
McIntyre with a shoulder tackle after Orton almost went for an RKO, but then off the ropes. Drew now off the ropes as well. Gets caught up, and his left knee buckled a little bit. But obviously, I think that was planned. Orton's going to have to hit a few RKOs and a few punt kicks to beat Drew, to make Drew look as strong as possible in the process of potentially losing the title. Rather than, oh, we're going to have a 10-second match with Brock Lesnar and Kofi Kingston to put the title on Beast. So, and the same thing goes for McIntyre. To make him look as strong as possible as a champion, if you're going to have him win, you got to have him hit a few claymores on Orton. Because Orton is the legend killer once again. Hashtag WWE Championship when you share on social media as well. So, they'll play this out. This is going to be a good match. They lock up once again in the middle of the ring. Right hand, kick to the midsection. Another right hand, another kick to the midsection. Corner to corner. Kick missed. Orton misses with the RKO. McIntyre shoulder first into the ring post. Joe's got a good taste in music, it seems like. Flirting with Disaster there. His most recent line on commentary, but Randy Orton now in control of McIntyre ringside, throwing him into the barricade. Now working the announce table. Face first into the ring post. Headbutt off of the announce table. Orton using that announce table as he always does. Orton telling McIntyre, hey, your title? Yeah, it's coming home with me. 5 count from the ref. Orton rolls in the ring, rolls right back out to break the count. Orton with a vertical suplex off of the announce table ringside. 3 count. Make that a 4. Cinco de Mayo. 6. 7, McIntyre in the ring. Cover, 1, kick out. And it's going to take, yeah, that was a 1. It's definitely going to take more than that to pin him and win. Headlock. Orton in control here. A few stomps to McIntyre. Orton posing, being booed by the virtual fans. Drew back on his feet, a few right hands. Somebody has another sign. What does that say? Can't make that one out. I think they took them off. Now, buddy, you gotta put your sign up when you're on. I still can't make that sign out. He's got it zoomed in way too far. Yeah, I can't. It's a white sign with black lettering. Yeah, they definitely took him off because the screen just went black and they put somebody else on. That guy's gone. I couldn't make that sign out. I don't know what that said. He had it way too close. He had it way too close, and whatever words were there were 10 times longer, and you couldn't read it. Spine buster from Drew. To me, sort of, and Drew's bleeding a little bit right in between his eyes. To me, it sort of seemed like it said something phenomenal up next or something like that. But like I said, I couldn't make it out. I don't know. But yeah, they took him off. They moved him. McIntyre now with a submission. The figure 4 on Randy Orton.
Humiliating would this be for Randy Orton?
Orton in pain as McIntyre has the figure 4 locked in. One kick out. Orton wasn't being pinned. Orton trying to reverse it, and McIntyre trying to put it in the figure 8. Orton taps, McIntyre retains. Randy rolls it through, but McIntyre rolls it through on top of him. So, figure 4 still locked in. Tap out. And Orton somehow gets out of the figure 4. Uses a maneuver the dirtiest player in the game would have used, and that's grabbing the ref by his collar, pulling him down, and then poking Drew McIntyre right in the eyes. So, Drew bleeding a little bit more now from his face. Big chop from McIntyre. See, there's 2 people, 3 people, for God's sakes, on a pitcher. Yeah, Drew's bleeding around his left eye. Right hand from Drew. Right hand from Randy. Another right hand from Drew. Uppercut from Morgan. Big chop from McIntyre. Kick from Orton. Right hand. Right hand. Right hand. Right hand. Yeah, yeah, yeah. RKO? No. Orton off the ropes. Clothesline from McIntyre. Another clothesline from McIntyre. Off the ropes goes Orton. And a power slam from Drew. Orton in the corner. Orton just got thrown across the ring. Drew McIntyre now going up top. Here comes Orton with an RKO out of nowhere, though. I can already see it coming. Actually, no. Orton gets taken down with a clothesline off the top rope from Drew McIntyre, and both superstars down and out. Big kip up from Drew as he looks into the camera. Blood and all. Big chop from Drew. Orton sitting on the top rope. Right hand from Drew. Orton now leaning on the steel post now. A little bit. McIntyre slips. Crotch first to the top turnbuckle. Headbutt from Orton. Wow. McIntyre reverses that. Throws Orton off the top rope. Cover 1, 2, kick out 2.5. DDT, no. Orton reverses. And then McIntyre reverses once more. Another DDT. First to connect, actually, though. Cover 1, 2, kick out at 2.5. Replay of that DDT and then the cover. McIntyre's been in, for the most part, Orton now bleeding as well from his forehead. McIntyre, for the most part, has been in full control tonight in this match. Drew's had the upper hand, to say the least. But here comes Orton with another reversal. Drew actually just with the right hand going up top once again. And Orton moves out of the way. McIntyre jumps off the top rope, and then a big power slam from Randy Orton. Cover 1, 2, kick out at 2.5 by the WWE Champion Drew McIntyre. Thank you once again for tuning in and watching. Chat questions and comments along with super chats and super stickers, always greatly appreciated. Like, follow, and subscribe, hit that thumbs up button. Share hashtag SummerSlam, hashtag WWE THUNDERDOME on social media. Replay of the power slam from Randy Orton. Both superstars down and out, rolling around in the ring, trying to figure out what to do next. And Orton going old school, vintage Orton. Gonna go for a DDT off the middle rope to Drew. McIntyre, no. McIntyre walks through. Big headbutt. And Orton bleeding a little bit more now. Big clothesline from McIntyre to Orton. They both go out of the ring. So now they're both down and out once more. Ringside. And, I mean, this match has been pretty damn good, too, to be honest with you. I mean, as mentioned earlier, match card-wise, I wasn't intrigued, but the way these matches have gone, just the night, as a whole so far to this point, it's been actually a good night for SummerSlam. It's been a good weekend of professional wrestling now, after last night. Vintage Orton with a DDT off the middle rope to Drew McIntyre. And they're both bleeding from their face. And they tell you too in this Thunderdome, you can only watch on whatever device you're watching the Thunderdome on, or through for that matter. But there's people looking up at their TV, looking at, all over the damn place, watching it on the network, which, I don't mind. Like, obviously that's the way it should be. I just don't get, like, okay, they're keeping these people on then, after telling them, hey, you can't do this or that, but yet they're doing this, and then they're not doing anything about it. But it's still brand new too, so everybody's still getting used to it. Orton on his feet. Sensing a victory here at SummerSlam. He has McIntyre in range for a punt kick. And Drew picks him up and power bombs him. Orton wasn't expecting that. He took that pretty hard too. And now Drew's gonna go. 3, 2, 1. Welcome to Claymore Country. Randy Orton with a Claymore kick, but Orton will probably reverse this into an RKO. 1, 2, 3 winner. For a good sequence of events to finish it off, to close everything out. Claymore misses. Orton, RKO, no. McIntyre, quick roll up. 1, 2, 3. Drew McIntyre retains his WWE Championship over Randy Orton with a very, very quick 1, 2, 3. On the reversal after the missed Claymore and missed RKO. Quick roll up on the shoulders. 1, 2, 3. McIntyre still your WWE champion. I would think now next week, just because Payback's a week away, they don't have a whole lot to they don't have a whole lot of time to build for another WWE Championship match with Drew McIntyre defending against somebody else. We'll get a rematch next Sunday with Drew McIntyre defending once again against the Viper, the returning legend killer Randy Orton, for the WWE Championship next week at Payback. But we'll have to find out tomorrow night on Raw. I mean, I'm happy Drew retained. I mean, I was split on this match. I mean, really, I could care less who wins. I mean, I'm fine with both. I mean, it makes sense to have both of them as your WWE champion right now. So, obviously, yeah, somebody's going to win and somebody's going to lose when it's all said and done. So, hey, Drew's still the champion. I'm totally fine with that. I am. Now, if Braun Strowman, coming up next, retains the Universal Championship against The Fiend Bray Wyatt, then we riot. And hopefully we're going to get something with Retribution tonight, too. You would think we're going to, but hey, you never know. McIntyre now with a few title defenses that really have showcased him as a very, very strong champion. I mean, hell, they aired it the next night on Raw, following WrestleMania 36, night 2. After he beat Brock Lesnar to become WWE champion, he then, shortly after, defeated the Big Show. And then they aired that on Raw the next night. Come Money in the Bank, he beat Seth Rollins. Backlash, he beat Bobby Lashley. And then last month at the horror show at Extreme Rules, Drew McIntyre, as I'm going to have to go to my notes on this one, defended and defeated, who did McIntyre face at the horror show at Extreme Rules for the WWE Championship? If you know, let me know in the comments below, please, as I I'm going to be looking in my notes here at the horror show at Extreme Rules. Did we even have a WWE Championship match at that pay-per-view? Tomorrow night, Monday Night Raw. Oh, Limitless Keith Lee. Keith Lee is being called up to the main roster. Limitless Keith Lee is going to be on Monday Night Raw. Keith Lee tomorrow night, Monday Night Raw on USA. Hell yeah. Keith Lee is being called up from NXT after he dropped the NXT Championship last night to Karrion Kross. So that puts all that to rest. Keith Lee now being called up. I mean, as thought, potentially. But depending on how Kross's MRI came out with his separated shoulder now, okay, you might, and I talked about it earlier, you might keep Keith Lee in NXT for, you know, just a little bit longer. But no. And I even said, you know, potentially, you know, my preview predictions that if he does lose, they call him up. Because Vince clearly loves him. And Keith Lee really, to me, main roster-wise, you talk about Karrion Kross being the next big thing. Keith Lee's going to be that for Monday Night Raw and SmackDown. And obviously he's going to be on Raw for the time being until we get another draft or shakeup, you know, at some point down the road. But the way he performed at Survivor Series last year for NXT, watch out Monday Night Raw, watch out Friday Night SmackDown. Keith Lee is coming. And he's not going to be stopping for anything. So, Keith Lee, Monday Night Raw tomorrow night. We'll see what the future holds for him. Trying to think on who he could face tomorrow night, or if he's just going to be in a promo or a backstage segment of some sort. Coming up next, it'll be Braun Strowman, The Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Next Sunday, WWE Payback. Be sure to keep an eye out for my preview predictions on that, along with live reactions, play-by-play, live right here on YouTube. Last month at, oh, that's right, yeah, he faced Dolph Ziggler. Yeah, I forgot about that. Well, that's probably why I forgot. No offense to Dolph Ziggler by any means, but he's now in Raw Underground, for God's sakes. Like, what the hell's up with that? Along with, you know, the Viking Raiders, and, I mean, everybody else that's been on Raw Underground the past few weeks. And we'll see what the future holds, you know, for that, too, especially with the move to the Amway Center in Orlando for the WWE Thunderdome now. So, it'll be interesting. It's another interesting time, an unknown time at that in the WWE. So video package now for Strowman and Wyatt, going back to the Horror Show Extreme Rules as well in the Wyatt Swamp Fight match. And they actually had a match at Money in the Bank as well. That was Strowman and Firefly Funhouse Bray. And then last month at the Horror Show Extreme Rules was Braun Strowman and the Eater of Worlds, Bray Wyatt. And then The Fiend returned as Bray won that Wyatt Swamp fight. Fiend made a return. Fiend attacked Alexa Bliss on SmackDown. Strowman really doesn't care about that. He shaved his head. And now, tonight, we got Braun Strowman defending his Universal Championship against The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, in a Falls Count Anywhere match in the main event of tonight's WWE SummerSlam. So once again, thank you for tuning in and watching. But yeah, big breaking news right now. Keith Lee going to be up on the main roster starting tomorrow night on Monday Night Raw. But stay tuned. My breaking news still to come. And thanks for tuning in. Like, follow, and subscribe. Share, hashtag SummerSlam. Maybe Keith Lee's a challenger for Drew McIntyre's WWE title. Maybe within a week span, Keith Lee's going to drop his NXT championship to Karrion Kross, debut on Raw, and then a week from tonight at WWE Payback, challenge Drew McIntyre for the WWE Championship. Or maybe they have a triple threat with McIntyre, Orton, and Keith Lee. I would think Keith Lee is going to get, you know, he's going to get a big push, and it'll be a few weeks or maybe in a few months before he gets put in the spotlight, you know, top of the card week in and week out. Maybe, you know, Seth Rollins, you know, as well with Keith Lee, or Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre. I doubt they'll revisit since Orton lost tonight, Orton Rollins, but if Orton wins next week at Payback, if they have a rematch, okay, then maybe. But we'll see what happens. It'll be interesting. It all depends on what they do tomorrow night now on Raw before Payback next week, and on SmackDown on Friday, as we see what happened on SmackDown this past Friday in the main event with Strowman and Wyatt, with the ambulance. And I called it. I mean, if you go back and watch it, you know, that's exactly what happened. You know, Bray then came out of the ambulance, you know, as the Fiend. Just minutes after he went in as Firefly Funhouse Bray. So, they've sort of both stood tall on SmackDown as well. So, it'll be interesting to see who wins this coming up next. But if Braun Strowman wins, we riot, because Bray did not deserve to lose to Goldberg. It did not make sense, even though Strowman won at WrestleMania in Roman Reigns' spot, and I've been over that before. But the Fiend Bray Wyatt deserves to recapture the Universal Championship tonight at SummerSlam. Following contest, Falls Count Anywhere match for the WWE Universal Championship. It's Braun Strowman and the Fiend Bray Wyatt. As far as I know, the Fiend Bray Wyatt's getting a special entrance with Code Orange actually performing live, but we'll see. We're going to start things off, though, first with Firefly Funhouse. And this is obviously just the start of his entrance. Let me in, let him in, let the Fiend Bray Wyatt in. SummerSlam last year, at SummerSlam, he made his debut match as the Fiend and defeated Finn Balor, who defeated Timothy Thatcher last night at TakeOver 30. Let me in. There's the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and out of anybody this weekend other than Karrion Kross last night in TakeOver 30's main event, where he won the NXT Championship once more, now he has a separated shoulder, Bray Wyatt's getting the best entrance of the weekend. Let me in, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Videos featuring Bray right here on the channel, so be sure to go check them out, as the Fiend as well. That's pretty sick right there. And the two in particular that I'm talking about, they're both dark matches following a Monday Night Raw and a Friday Night SmackDown I actually attended. The one was a championship match. It was about a week and a half before he won the Universal Championship at, it would have been Crown Jewel last October from Seth Rollins, before he lost it also in Saudi Arabia this past February to Goldberg. So obviously that's where he wins and loses titles in the WWE in the fall and, you know, late winter, early spring, at least in the past year. That's the case. But it was a dark match following Monday Night Raw. It was a steel cage, and it was for the Universal title. That was still red at the time, excuse me. And now, obviously, since he won it, Crown Jewel, then it's turned into blue because it's on SmackDown. That was the effect of Firefly Funhouse, of course, as the Fiend Bray Wyatt continues to make his entrance tonight at SummerSlam. And let me know in the comments below who you have winning between Braun and Bray. Hurt for Braun, because I'm going to be hurt if Braun wins, and then we're going to sort of heal back up 6 months later if Bray wins and recaptures the title. So heal for Bray in the comments. But also, actually, the third to last show before the pandemic was a Friday Night SmackDown. The Fiend Bray Wyatt faced Daniel Bryan in a dark match following Friday Night SmackDown. And then videos from that pay-per-view that weekend as well, Elimination Chamber, right here on the channel. Videos from WWE, AEW, with Monday Night Raw, NXT, Friday Night SmackDown, pay-per-views, AEW Dynamite, right here on the channel. Be sure to go check them out. Like, follow, and subscribe. Hit that red subscribe button, thumbs up button, hashtag SummerSlam when you share. And we'll now get the Strowman Express rolling on into the WWE Thunderdome here tonight at SummerSlam. as he will defend against Bray, the Fiend, Bray Wyatt. Not much longer he won't be. The Fiend, Bray Wyatt, about to win. Hopefully, knock on wood, he will. Braun with his new haircut. He's a one big, bald son of a bitch. At least he thinks he is. I'm a big tough guy. I can yell and scream and do everything hopefully in between, but no. He's getting stale as a champion and as a big guy in the WWE, so something needs to happen. And I said it Friday night, if they think him shaving his head, telling him to shave his head is going to do that, no, give me a goddamn break. Hell is empty. The Devils are here inside the WWE Thunderdome for tonight's SummerSlam main event with the Fiend, Bray Wyatt, and Braun Strowman. Bell rings, match underway, headbutt from Braun. And Braun got booed heavily in his entrance. Bray takes a headbutt and he's just sitting there laughing. Stands up, hits him with a right hand. Bray picks up and power slams Braun. Rock bottom. With Theater World's Bray Wyatt. Bray, like, literally trying to snap the neck of Braun Strowman. As it was, yes, well, yeah, technically this isn't a wrestling match. Michael Cole's a false count anywhere. But, yeah, this goes back to the Wyatt family. Bray, Theater World's the leader of the pack. They had, or he had Luke Harper, now Brody Lee, once again. He's your new AEW TNT champion after last night. Eric Rowan, Joseph Rudd, and then they insert the black sheep, Braun Strowman. And Bray Wyatt with a toolbox. The Fiend with a toolbox right to the head of Braun Strowman. I'd say so. I've been saying that for a goddamn year, Michael Cole. Bray Wyatt, the Fiend Bray Wyatt, is as sick and twisted as anybody we've ever seen in the WWE. And that's up there with The Undertaker, Kane, Boogeyman, everybody in between. Huge shoulder tackle from Braun to Bray through the barricade by the timekeeper's area. And hell, he might as well tear down shop. Somebody's going to go through the announce table. This is Falls Count Anywhere once again for the Universal title. And Braun with a choke slam. And the table did not break. And then it sort of does once Bray let go. Bray's hurting after that one a little bit. Braun with the choke slam to Bray through the table. I am the table. Did not break. Bray up on his feet though. And Braun's actually the godfather in real life of Bray's son. Steel steps right to the face of Bray Wyatt. So there's obviously, yes, history with these two, but it's personal as well. Listen. Yeah, we know how a steel step to the head sounds, Michael Cole. Come on. Strowman going for a power slam. That connects, cover. 1, 2, Fiend kicks out. And Braun, and they had it zoomed in. He's like, he can't believe, and he must think that obviously we're not in the Thunderdome, like we're still back at the PC, like the camera's not on me, there's not all these virtual fans watching. But obviously he's turned heel, so to him, he, you know, thinks he can, you know, basically do what he wants. Yeah, no shit. No count outs because it's falls count anywhere. Thanks for the reminder, Michael Cole. Thanks. Braun gonna throw Bray into the entrance as they rush up the ramp. Yeah, it's called turning heel because Bray's a babyface once again. See, with the Bray, he's a tweener. He's the Eater of Worlds Bray Wyatt. He's Bray Wyatt. He's Firefly Funhouse Bray. Now they're fighting back into Gorilla. Okay, there's nobody in Gorilla. I was expecting to see Vince and Triple H and Michael Hayes and everybody else that you would normally see in Gorilla, all wearing their mask. Probably not. But, yeah, they're fighting in Gorilla position now. Sister Abigail from Bray to Braun Strowman in the Gorilla position. Ref right by his side. Cover. 1, 2. Kick out by Strowman at 2.5. But Bray's a tweener because he's the Eater of Worlds. He's Bray Wyatt. He's Firefly Funhouse Bray. He's the Fiend Bray Wyatt, which for all those, he can be a good heel or he can be a good babyface. Sister Abigail on the floor in Gorilla position. And now Bray working the face of Braun, dragging his hands across the face of the Universal Champ. And now they're starting to fight back down the entrance ramp. As they just came out of the entrance. And right back into the LED board, and it goes out for a second, but then comes back on. Hit a Sister Abigail on the top of the entrance and then be done with it. Braun actually bleeding now from the top of his head. He must have cut himself shaving. Strowman now about ready to fall off the entrance. If Bray wins this, does Retribution attack the Fiend? Or do they come out, attack Braun? Or don't even attack? But then Bray reveals himself as the leader of Retribution. Mandible Claw locked in. Mandible Claw locked in on Strowman. They're at the end of the entrance ramp now, ringside. big chop right to the chest of Bray Wyatt. Cover from Strowman, 1-2, kick out ringside.
Destruction caused by these two as a kingdom. King Kong versus Godzilla at this point. Yeah, just look around ringside. Barricade knocked over, the table broken in half, steps thrown everywhere, and the bodies of the Fiend.
Had to think about that one for a second, Corey Graves. Referring to this as King Kong versus Godzilla.
Roman almost cautiously approaching the Fiend inside the ring. And the power now. Strowman looking for a second power slam in this match.
Strowman going for another power slam. That connects. Another cover. 1, 2. Another kick out by Bray.
And if you're Strowman, you've got to be wondering, what the hell do I do to keep the Fiend down?
Strowman now just going to town with some right hands. And then he screams in his face. Like that's going to do anything.
Frustration. Is it frustration or is it just more motivation? Braun Strowman is hell-bent on destroying the Fiend. The Fiend or his alter egos that cause this metamorphosis in Strowman. Anyways,
Strowman walking around the ring now. He goes back to the toolbox that was used earlier and got busted open. So now Braun Strowman's got a knife of some sorts, it looks like. That is a box cutter now, yes. Braun Strowman has a box cutter. And he's going to cut a hole in the ring mat. And okay, so I'm thinking Bray's going to do something to Strowman that he's either going to send him through it, or the lights are going to go out and Bray's going to be underneath and come back out of it like it's hell. Sort of what Kane has done in years past. And go from there. I honestly don't know what the hell's going to happen. But the Fiend, in the meantime, is back up on his feet. Power slam and Strowman right on the boards of the ring. Bray Wyatt now going to go for Sister Abigail once again in the ring. Cover, no. The Fiend Bray Wyatt going to go for another Sister Abigail. 3 Sister Abigails for the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Cover on Braun Strowman. 1, 2, 3. The Fiend Bray Wyatt is once again your Universal Champion. Fiend Bray Wyatt. Hurt. The Fiend is once again Universal Champion, a championship he should have never lost to Goldberg. But I do get it. I understand it. Everybody virtually seems happy that the Fiend is your winner. And who the hell is that? That's the big dog Roman Reigns. Reigns is back. Reigns with a spear to the Fiend. Roman Reigns with a spear. Reigns makes his return after 5 months from pulling out of WrestleMania 36 due to coronavirus fears because of leukemia. The big dog Roman Reigns is back. And Reigns going after Strowman now with a spear ringside. Michael Cole, where the hell did he come from? Well, obviously out of the goddamn crowd. Especially when there's nobody there. Wreck everyone and leave. That's Reigns' new shirt. The big dog Roman Reigns is back. And he's going to be on a path of destruction. He's grabbing a steel chair now. And he looks in damn good shape. Reigns going to town ringside. Roman Reigns has returned to the WWE. Reigns going to go for another spear on the Fiend in the ring. So it seems like now, okay, Universal Championship picture on Friday Night SmackDown. It's going to be the Fiend Bray Wyatt and the big dog Roman Reigns. Reigns looks the same, he just looks more jacked. He still has long hair, still has his beard. Another spear to the Fiend. Wonder what people will be saying about this. Wreck everyone and leave. The big dog Roman Reigns. Reigns is coming back to get what he was never able to win because he pulled out of WrestleMania. So the big dog stands tall to close out SummerSlam with the Universal Championship high in the air over the new Universal Champion, the Fiend Bray Wyatt. Wow. And that'll do it for WWE SummerSlam. WWE 24 of WrestleMania 36 that Reigns did not participate in, coming up next. So Reigns would have beat Goldberg. And then probably over the summer we would have gotten Reigns Strowman. And then it would have probably been Reigns Wyatt tonight. But then if we wouldn't have got Reigns and Strowman over the summer, Strowman probably would have been the one I would think to have done something after the match, you know, attacking wise and, you know, standing tall. But that's not the case. Strowman, no longer your Universal Champion, just lost to the Fiend Bray Wyatt. So the Fiend Bray Wyatt is your new Universal Champion to close out SummerSlam. However, the big dog, and I'm trying to get the real big dog to join us live right here on YouTube before we close up for the night. The big dog Roman Reigns has returned, and it looks like it's going to be the Fiend Bray Wyatt and the big dog Roman Reigns moving forward on Friday Night SmackDown for the WWE Universal Championship. So no retribution at all tonight. Not other than the video package that they've shown a few times on Raw and SmackDown in the past week. No retribution angle, attack, nothing tonight at SummerSlam. Potentially now I would think tomorrow night on Raw, to close out SummerSlam weekend. But hey, you never know. This was obviously, the first pay-per-view with Retribution and the first pay-per-view in the Thunderdome. So maybe they're only going to be doing Retribution on Monday Night Raw and Friday Night SmackDowns for the time being until they figure out what the hell they're actually going to do with them. So we'll have to put that on hold, just for the time being. But the big story right now is, yes, Roman Reigns is in fact back. The big dog Roman Reigns has returned to the WWE to close out SummerSlam this evening, hitting a few spears on both the Fiend Bray Wyatt and the Monster Mugman Braun Strowman, along with hitting Strowman with a few steel chair shots as well. But then in the ring to close it all out, another spear to the Fiend, the new Universal Champ, and then standing tall, hoisting the blue Universal Championship high in the air. So Reigns making a statement, no doubt about it. The big dog Roman Reigns returning, and come here, buddy. Come here. Trying to get the real big dog to join us, as mentioned once again. I mean, it is good to see Reigns back. I mean, as much as I don't like him, and as much as people, hate him, Reigns is the one where, there's about 50% of people that like him, and then the other 50% hate him. And I've said it, time and time again. He's just the one where can't really, seem to get a good grasp on it. And okay, like, they're obviously going to push him to win the Universal title. But if they were smart, they would drag this story out until WrestleMania. They would, if they were smart. That's what they would do. Right now, I'm not going to have a problem, but that's right now, of course. Right now, I'm not going to have a problem with the Fiend Bray Wyatt losing the Universal Championship to the big dog Roman Reigns. I won't. Just due to the fact where, okay, he was in a Universal Championship match at WrestleMania, pulled out due to coronavirus pandemic, but nobody saw a pandemic coming here in 2020. And then he was replaced by Braun Strowman, and rightfully so. He pulled out because he's had leukemia before, he cited coronavirus concerns, and like I said, rightfully so. And he's been off of TV ever since, the past 5 months, and here we are, August the 23rd, and the big dog Roman Reigns is back, and unfortunately, the real big dog not going to join us this evening. But if you've seen my live streams in the past, you've seen them, and you know who I'm talking about. But yeah, that's how SummerSlam ends. So this weekend, for the world of professional wrestling as a whole, and we still have Monday Night Raw tomorrow night, with a potential Retribution angle, and then Raw Underground maybe in its final maybe in its final days, I'll say, for the time being, just because, I mean, like I said in my preview predictions, then all weekend for Raw Underground, it was a backstage brawl at the PC. Basically, that's all it was. And Shane McMahon's in charge. But now they're moving to the Amway Center in Orlando, right across town, and we have WWE Thunderdome now. So what is the future of Raw Underground? That's going to be a big story. And we got Keith Lee debuting tomorrow night on Raw as well. So the weekend's not done just yet, but it's been up to this point, a damn good weekend for pro wrestling, and hopefully they'll close it out on a good high note tomorrow night as well, on Monday Night Raw, with Raw Underground, Retribution, and Keith Lee's debut. We're gonna have to wait for Friday Night SmackDown. I'm sure they'll talk about it tomorrow night on Raw. We're gonna have to wait till SmackDown on Friday for the Fiend and the big dog Roman Reigns with Braun Strowman as well. And then who knows what will happen with another draft or shakeup in the coming months, as Triple H noted last week during a conference call. But this weekend we got a new Intercontinental Champion in Jeff Hardy on Friday Night SmackDown. We saw a teddy bear, a Pikachu, a Fire Velveteen Dream, along with a look-alike Sting, virtually in the WWE Thunderdome as well. Last night, AEW Dynamite, Chris Jericho, Orange Cassidy was made official for AEW All Out in less than 2 weeks' time now, in the first ever Mimosa Mayhem match. Also, this upcoming Thursday, for a Thursday night Dynamite in AEW, we'll have a contract signing with Jon Moxley and MJF for their World Heavyweight Championship match at All Out as well. Brody Lee, your new AEW TNT champion, defeating Cody in last night's main event as well. And then we saw Damian Priest become your new NXT North American champion, along with Karrion Kross defeating Keith Lee to become the new NXT champion, along with a separated shoulder that he'll get an MRI on now tomorrow. And Keith Lee, in the meantime, he's getting called up to the main roster, and he'll be on Monday Night Raw tomorrow. However, this evening at WWE SummerSlam, and once again, thank you for tuning in and watching, we saw, in no particular order by any means, but we'll try to keep it as fresh as we possibly can. We'll start with the kickoff pre-show. Apollo Crews defeated and retained his United States Championship over MVP, which is a little surprising, to be honest with you. Bayley still the SmackDown Women's Champion, defeating Asuka, but then Asuka also defeated Sasha Banks to become the new Raw Women's Champion. So we do have a few new champions this weekend across all these promotions and all these different brands. But now next week, a week from tonight at WWE Payback, I'll have preview predictions and live reactions, so keep an eye out. The Boston Hug Connection, the Golden Role Models, Bayley and Sasha Banks will defend their women's tag team titles next week at Payback as well. Mandy Rose, your winner over Sonya Deville. Sonya Deville now must leave the WWE. Street Profits still your Raw Tag Team Champions, defeating Andrade and Angel Garza. Drew McIntyre also retained his WWE Championship over the returning Legend Killer Randy Orton. I'm thinking a rematch next week at Payback, and then that's as of now. We'll see what happens tomorrow night on Raw. And then the Fiend and the SummerSlam main event this evening. The Fiend Bray Wyatt defeated the Monster Among Men, Braun Strowman, to become your new Universal Champion. However, the big dog, Roman Reigns, makes his return, and now he's going to be on a path of destruction to get back what he was unable to compete for this past April at WrestleMania 36. So that's SummerSlam. That is SummerSlam, WWE's biggest party of the summer, and now I guess we know what "you'll never see it coming" means, and it wasn't Retribution by any means. It was the big dog Roman Reigns returning. Vince even said that on Friday Night SmackDown when he kicked off the show, and we all know how Vince is with the big dog Roman Reigns. Woof woof, SmackDown turned into Dog Pound come Friday night now on SmackDown. So yes, that is SummerSlam. Be sure to tune back in tomorrow night as well for WWE Monday Night Raw live reactions from the Thunderdome as well. Keep an eye out for WWE Payback preview predictions, along with a WWE Payback live reaction play-by-play stream 1 week from this evening. Be sure to like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Thank you once again for watching. The Fiend Bray Wyatt is your new Universal Champion, but the big dog is back. Roman Reigns has returned. I'll leave it at that. However, thank you for sticking around. Now it's time for my breaking news. 1 week from Tuesday, September the 1st, I, myself, your host, Encyclopedia Sports, Cool Hand Luke 96, will in fact still be releasing my 2020 college football and NFL previews. And then be sure to tune in starting September the 5th, Saturday, September the 5th, for flashback college football Penn State live reactions live right here on YouTube, due to the fact that the Big Ten will not be playing college football this fall. They are looking to play along with the Pac-12 in the spring. So that is the big breaking news, other than, yes, the big dog, Roman Reigns, is in fact back in the WWE, making his return this evening to close out SummerSlam, hitting a few spears, and then standing tall over the new WWE Universal Champion in the Fiend Bray Wyatt. thanks for watching. Hope to see everybody now tomorrow night once again for WWE Monday Night Raw from the Thunderdome. Keep an eye out for WWE Payback preview predictions, and I'll see everybody 1 week from tonight for more live reactions in the WWE and the World Professional Wrestling, as I like to say, for the return of the WWE Payback pay-per-view for the first time since 2017. Like, follow, and subscribe on social media. Links in the description below. I'll see everybody tomorrow night and next Sunday night for WWE Payback.